And we're live. Not sure how many people we have in here yet. I'm going to tweet out the link for those of you that are here. Hello, hello. Welcome to everybody. Game starts in like 15, 20 minutes, if I remember correctly. So we still got a little bit of time. Costa Rican sports fan. So are you a Seahawks fan in Seattle? That's an interesting mix. I don't think I've seen that before. Oh, God, I can't type. All right. Just put that on Twitter. What's up, Ashy? Thank you, Decaf. Appreciate that. Oh, now we got people flooding in. There we go. I think all the push notifications just went out. Thoughts on Browns defense the last 2 weeks? They've really been phenomenal. JOK getting in the game has been awesome for them in terms of having a rangy second level defender. They've done some really interesting things front seven wise. Coach Vass just did a stream on his channel a couple nights ago breaking down. They used a front colloquially known as Tilt 4. It's like a 6-1 surface. Pretty much the same game plan that like the Patriots used against the Rams in the Super Bowl that they got from Fangio. And in terms of shutting down the Stefanski offense that relies a lot on wide zone. And so, yeah, I like what their coaching staff's doing a lot. I think Woods is doing a great job. Oh, I should probably play this, shouldn't I? Oh, I've been studying NFC West tape all day, so I'm going back through the Rams Cardinals game one more time before the Rams kick off tonight. There was a pick by Byron Murphy. I don't know how many of you guys were got a chance to look at the podcast this week. There's a pick that Byron Murphy had in this game. That let me see if I can find it. Actually, it was like 9 minutes in the first quarter. You guys need to see this because it's absolutely insane. No, it's after this. I think it's around here. Oh, I think this is it. All right, so Byron Murphy, 7 at the bottom of the screen. Watch him cover this ground and pick this ball off. Are you kidding me? Like, are you absolutely kidding me? Like, this is a quarters beater. Like, faking the through route and then a deep 7 from Cup up top, hit the backside post because you're holding the safeties in the middle. Like, this is supposed to beat quarters, and they're in quarters. And for Murphy to be like left out to dry, like he's dead here. Like he's over the top, but like there's so much space inside. And for him to just like get on his horse, stay on that line, meet the ball at the receiver, like that's insane. I just saw that pick. I wanted to bring it up tonight before this game because like the Rams really like I know the score reflected them getting their ass beat, but it really was a pretty close game for a while there. There was like 4 or 5 plays the entire game that kind of swung it heavily in favor of the Cardinals. That was one of them. Just Byron Murphy just making a crazy ass play, but like they were pretty evenly matched, all things considered, up until obviously in the end there. But like there was a couple turnovers that were just really unfortunate. They messed up on the goal line. They for some reason it was like 3rd and 7. Carolina was coming off the goal line. They called a too high shell. And when they were just trying to run to get off the goal line, and so Kyler just did a zone read for 50 yards. So not the best day for the Rams, but like overall, they're still a really good team. All right, let's see if I can catch up on these questions here. Am I streaming the game too? I don't think I'm allowed to show the game, so I can show, like, the game cast, but I don't think I'm allowed to actually show the broadcast because then I'll get, like, flagged or whatever. So I gotta log into my VPN. Oh, shit. If I log into my VPN midstream, does that mess me up? Let's find out now. I apologize if this goes down for, like, half a second. I have to log into the German server so I can watch this game live. Unless I can get it on Sports Search. Yeah, I'm gonna do that because I don't want to compromise the stream. I probably should have done that before. All right, we're pivoting, boys. We're pivoting. Really don't want to compromise the stream by trying to go into VPN halfway through. Okay, I think this will work. I just have to click through a million ads like the old days. Oh, fuck. Man, I might have to do the VPN thing. Oh, no. Unless somebody knows a good place to stream the game. Let me know. Because, like, I have European Game Pass, like, specifically to watch games live, but I totally forgot to go in the VPN before the stream. Oh, you can watch it on Amazon Prime? Oh, is that this week? Oh, you might just save my ass. That would make it so much wait, can I stream then? If it's on Amazon? That's a legitimate question I have. Because if it's on I don't want to risk it. I don't want the channel to get deleted. You guys are fucking brilliant. Thank you. Oh God, what's my Amazon password? Oh no. Oh no, what's my Amazon password? How did I forget this? Okay, wait. Work. No shit. This is going to be the jankiest like watch along stream of all time. Thank God the game doesn't start for a few minutes. Okay, that didn't work. How many fruits can I go through? Okay, that didn't work. Shit. I'm gonna have to think on this one, boys. I can always go to NFL Byte. All right, option 4. To stream this fucking game. Okay, I think this is gonna work. This should work. I just want to watch football. Why is it so hard to watch football in the United States of America? Oh my God. Oh, Buff Streams is still around? Jesus Christ. Like, why can't the league just like sell games a la carte? I don't understand. Like, why does it have to be this hard to watch a live football game on a stable internet connection? Jesus. Oh, it's on Twitch. Oh. All right, option 5, because that's how we watch football these days. Jesus Christ. Okay. Prime Video, Twitch. So, okay. Twitch.com, right? I don't think I'm allowed to show a Twitch on YouTube stream. Am I? Is that a loophole here? Trusting you guys to know these laws better than me. Prime Video. There we go. All right. I think I have it up on my second monitor. Oh, thank God. Okay. We're good. Well, at least I'm good. Now I need to figure out if I can do an overlay. I don't know if I'm allowed. Oh, there's exclusivity. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Good looking out. Only approved streamer. Well, how do I get on that list? What is this, like, cartel controlling something that technically you can get on a freaking TV antenna? God, there has to be a better way. Can you do a breakdown of the Cowboys offense? Well, I'm halfway doing that this week. I think it's going to be out Saturday morning. It's part two of the Panthers run defense video that I promised, except um it's going to be on the Cowboys rushing attack, absolutely obliterating them, and basically what the Panthers did wrong. Their game plan was complete horseshit, and you guys will see why it was complete horseshit in the episode. It was just bad. Like, the personnel groupings were bad, their formations were bad, everything was bad. They sold out to stop the pass, and then just never adjusted. But you'll see why. It's a fascinating game to watch because they completely abandoned everything that was working for them in weeks 1 through 3, and they let up like 250 yards rushing because of that. Thoughts on the Dolphins so far? Their offensive line is not good. Not good. All right, I'm gonna go back and find these super chats that I missed, at least as many as I can. If I missed yours already and I don't get to it, just alert me in chat, and I will answer it. Double D Productions for $5. Thank you very much. Raiders are worse with Jacobs, and it isn't Jacobs' fault. It's Gruden's terribly predictable play calls and his run pass approach to start games. I don't necessarily think that run pass is bad. It's just how you do run pass. And you also have to have a really good offensive line to do run pass. I mean, the Cowboys did run pass last week and they were fine. The Browns do run pass all the time. Shanahan does run pass all the time. But it's how you do it. What kind of runs are you calling from what groupings, what formations, what situations? How are you game planning for fronts they like to use against certain personnel groupings? All that kind of stuff. So it's how you do run pass. And I feel like, yeah, you could say their game plan is predictable in terms of running. But I think their actual run calls aren't bad. It really just comes down to execution. Their offensive line isn't doing too well. Jacobs has been banged up himself as well. It's tough because, remember, again, if you're a lot of teams play one high against them. If you're on offense with 7 guys in the core blocking 8 guys in the box, unless you have a mobile quarterback, which Derek Carr is not, he's not slow, but he's also not like a running threat. Unless you have a mobile quarterback to even up the numbers and be a threat on the backside, you're going to be outgapped. So then it comes down to execution. How well are you working double teams? Can you move a guy off the line of scrimmage? Are your receivers good blockers in the second level? It's a whole bunch of different factors because you're always going to be at an innate numbers disadvantage. And so I think when it comes to the Raiders, they just have not been executing well enough to overcome the fact that they start out every single play outgapped. I think that's part of the reason why they love Mariota, is because they can bring him in and he gives them a mobile quarterback threat that kind of evens up the numbers for him, quote unquote, in the run game and kind of sparks things for him. And then he got hurt on his first carry because it's Marcus Mariota. And thank you for the assist, guys, by the way, letting me know that's on Twitch. That's clutch because I did not want to fuck up the stream. with the VPN. We got 500 people in here already. That's crazy. Did I set my fantasy lineup? I think I did. Ooh, but I gotta do my underdog thing. We gotta win some money tonight. All right. Let's fill out a slip, shall we? We only got a few minutes to do it. Who do we like? Let me shut that off so you guys can see it. All right, who do we like? I kind of like. Oh, there's no Robert Woods prop. That's unfortunate. Stafford, 26 completions. I don't hate that. Henderson, 20. Receiving yards is kind of finicky. Oh, Robert Woods. I can't even do Robert Woods. Man. Okay, I'm going to go over on completions. Nah, I won't do it. Do I want to do under? I'm going to do under on completions. Collins, only 56.5. That's interesting. Total yards for Russ over, easy. Lockett over, easy. And then do I want to do over for Collins? I don't know. So what I am going to do is over on Van Jefferson receptions. So let's give me 4. I want to get one more in there. Under on DK. All right. So if we do like $100 bet on that, it's a $2,000 payoff. I feel comfortable with that. All right. There's my slip. Under for 26 completions for Stafford. Over 297.5 yards for Russ. Over 71.5 yards for Lockett. Over 3.5 receptions for Jefferson. Under 5.5 receptions for DK. If all of these hit, all of them, I can't miss one, I win $2,000. So I feel good about that. Let me put that in a separate tab so I can keep track of that. I haven't hit on these since week 1, so I feel like I'm due. Like I hit big in week 1 that I've been slowly bleeding ever since. But such is the life of pick'ems in the NFL. Can I do one on JOK? Yeah, I'll probably get a few more. I'm actually going to Cleveland a week from today, next Thursday. God, I fly out that quick. Yeah, so I'm flying out to Cleveland a week from today. I'm going to be out there for the Arizona game. Say hi to the people out there. Never been to Ohio. Experience First Energy Stadium. Experience the Dog Pound. Probably get myself a JOK jersey while I'm there. That's my guy. You know that. Mr. Looper. Hello. Am I set the edge? No. I know him, though. He's a great guy. But that is not me. He's a really good dude, though. I like him. Makes great content. Oh, God, another Brett. Do we have to fight? I think there's only allowed to be one of us here. Thank you for the $5, though. Appreciate it. Other Brett. Alston, thank you. I don't know how much you've looked at 2022, but curious what you think about the strength of the coming draft class and which positions you think are deepest. Defensive line, super deep, especially at edge. There's a lot of dudes. Thibodeau's probably the front liner. This kid from Purdue, that's really good. God, I'm blanking on some of the other ones off the top of my head. Um, Georgia's got a few defensive linemen that are pretty crazy. Jordan Davis at nose tackles, like Vita Vea 2.0. Quarterback, I haven't decided if it's a good class or not. I think there's some guys at the top I really like. Malik Willis, Matt Corral. I'm kind of oh God, fumble out of bounds. Game just had opening kickoff, by the way. Actually, I should probably pull up the what do you call it? Box score for you guys to look at, so you guys can track where I'm at. Let me pause this. Share screen. Stop that. Share screen. Share. Boom. All right, so let me pull up. Cool. So now you can see where we're at. All right, Rams are on the 15. What is it, 2nd and 11? 3-by-1 in typical Rams fashion. Ugh. Was that a curl under the field side corner? Easy pick. Oh, no. Okay. They're in quarters. How did he uncover there? Oh, man. He just broke right under him. Who's that corner? Oh, my God. He lost from the word go there. It's like a penny package for Seattle, a 5-by-1. Yeah, just completely outgapped him at the point of the attack. In terms of other positions that I think are pretty deep, receiver, I think, has some really good dudes in this class, as per usual. These days, every single year, there's a lot of receivers coming out. I haven't looked much at the DB class beyond Kyle Hamilton, and I haven't really looked at offensive line. Kind of trusting Brandon Thorne on that one. He's got some guys that he likes, but I haven't really looked at them myself yet. I've mostly been focusing on NFL. But just from a lot of my film study from last year, I knew going into it that this was going to be a pretty insane defensive line class. All right, 1st and 10 for the Rams, 3-yard run on what looked like mid zone for Darrell Henderson. Let me see, scroll up there. All right, 3rd and 6 coming up. What are they in? All right. Sam walked up in the line of scrimmage. Oh. Are they bringing it? No, they're not. They just brought 5. Man, Stafford's missing on these balls to Cup. Like he's getting open. It's just there's something up with chemistry between them. Like they're not finding each other. Like that 7 was there for him. Just got to hit it. Thoughts on the Broncos rookies? I have not got to really look at like Surtain and all them. I know Surtain just got banged up. I think it was last week. I haven't got to watch their rookies too much other than Javonte Williams, who I really, really like for fantasy purposes. Like I've been watching a lot of Javonte Williams, but I haven't really looked at anybody else they took yet. Like I know they love Surtain. Like everybody in the building raves about Surtain, but I haven't got to like watch him myself yet. But Javonte Williams he's a monster. There was a run he had last week, broke like 6 tackles in one run. And I was like, yeah, that looks like Javonte Williams. He comes into the league and he's already got one of the highest tackle breaking percentages in the entire sport. Christopher Kelly, $20. Thank you, Chris. As a Texans fan, my condolences. Should LSU hire Bill O'Brien? I know he wasn't a great GM, but do you think he'll do well as a coach? In terms of like as an actual schemer and everything like that, I think Bill O'Brien's just fine. And to be honest, it seems like the players in the locker room tend to like him a lot too. Like nobody really spoke that poorly of him at Penn State. And I think for a while the veterans really liked him in Houston as well. It wasn't really till the end when, they started doing all these stupid trades and everything that the players started to resent him. But should he be the head of a program again? I guess it depends on what is his power going to be. And college coaches tend to have a lot of power, but how much input does he have in terms of like who they go after in recruitment? How much input does he have in terms of personnel? Because LSU has a personnel department just like NFL teams, so it's like, is he running that or is he just running the team? Like schematic wise and practice wise and everything like that. Like Bill O'Brien, I think is better the less macro organizational power he has, where he could just focus on football. So I think that's the question you have to ask first. But like as just a pure coach, yeah, I think he's fine. He's doing well this year at least at Bama. Autumn, welcome back, Autumn. Autumn for $5. Thoughts on Joey B saving Zach's job? Haven't really seen a ton of improvement in his game planning, and it's really frustrating. I mean, the offensive line is playing better, and obviously, having a weapon like Chase, makes things a little bit easier too, where you can just call 989 and say go win, and then he goes and wins, and you get a touchdown out of it. They didn't really have that last year. So having that quick strike ability with Chase definitely changes things. Again, the offensive line is playing better than it did last year. So I think what we're starting to see is, okay, maybe Zach Taylor isn't the best at scheming an untalented roster to play better than they actually are, but when he does have better talent to work with, he can get some wins out of them. So eh, oh man, Russ just hit a really nice one to lock it. All right, that's good. We have the over on Lockett. So yeah, in terms of like who's the most important piece there, it's not Taylor, it's Burrow. But hey, as long as they're winning, I'm okay with it. All right, Seahawks at midfield, 3-by-1, Rams and quarters. Collins gets a nice 3 or 4 yard carry there. That was a pretty light box. I'm wondering who got off the block there. That was a good call. Like, I know it was only a 3.5, 4 yard carry. Still a good call from Russ to run into a light box. They just need their dudes to block. You guys wanted me to take the under for Sony Michelle. The under was like 19 yards. Anytime an over under is that low, I get a little bit nervous because that could be one carry. You get like one crack toss call that's well blocked. There's 20 yards right there. I get real nervous whenever I see something that low. Thoughts on the Ravens passing attack so far? Much more vertical this year. And I think that's a good thing. And hold on. 3rd and 3. I want to see if they convert this. Oh, get it out. Yeah. All right. Rams force a punt. Looks like they called sprint left there, and there was just nothing to throw to. That's unfortunate for Seattle. Oh, Donald. Put a nice little lick on Russ. All right. Not feeling too great about some of these overs so far. It's been a little bit of a punt fest, but if I know Seahawks games, they start out boring and then get crazy real quick. But yeah, the Ravens passing attack this year, again, a lot more vertical. They're really, I think, attacking single high coverages a lot better this year. it's they've been a little bit more creative in terms of how they manipulate safety because they get one high looks pretty much all the time because of their rushing attack and how it's structured. Like it's all hands on deck down in the box. So you're going to get one high looks. So your passing attack should be structured to beat one high looks. Deep crosses that get across the safety's face, occupying both seams so that you can peek one way, throw the other. Like, tag all your go routes with deep curls if you're getting bail coverage so Lamar can just throw for 10 yards underneath it if you're getting like a country cover 3. Not that people play country cover 3 a lot anymore, but if you get it, again, it's something that you should have on hand. And so yeah, they're doing a lot better job of attacking these one high looks. And I don't want to say using West Coast concepts, but doing a lot of stuff that has been West Coast staples for a long time. In particular, again, those deep crossing routes and everything like that, four verts, all that kind of stuff. Last year it seemed uninspired in terms of how they put safeties in conflict deep down the field. Um, it seemed like they didn't really like receivers crossing deep down the field. They really, when they were working the middle of the field, was like 20 yards and under rather than really pushing it deep down the field. So like you get the digs, you get the basics, drift routes, everything like that, but you didn't see like the deep crosses, spear concept, all that kind of stuff. This year they're incorporating that more, if that makes sense. Deep posts on the every now and then, all that kind of shit. If you aren't hot, you're due. That's what we're hoping for. Where did the Spanish voices come from? Was there Spanish voices on stream? I didn't even notice. I was trying so hard to go to 6 different websites to watch a simple football game. What are my thoughts on Parsons so far? He's been better as an edge rusher than as a pure linebacker, but I think most people probably expected that. I think playing him as you remember how like Von Miller was used as a 4-3 Sam his rookie year in Denver under Jack Del Rio, where they weren't 3-4, even though they took him as a 3-4 outside linebacker. Like that's what he was at A&M, but they didn't play that system. So, did Woods get that? I think he did. That was a crazy catch. A lot crazier than it needed to be. But Von Miller, when he entered the league, like a decade ago, like they ran a 4-3 with Jack Del Rio, and they're like, well, we don't want him to be a defensive end because he's not a defensive end. So let's just make him a Sam linebacker. And he dropped into coverage a lot, but then on passing downs, they would just take off the base defensive end. They had like either a 5 or a 6 tech. They took him off the field and then just had Vaughn rush from a 2-point stance as if he was a rush end in a 4-3, and it worked really well. And I think Micah Parsons doing that kind of role could be good for them too, where it's like, yeah, he is on the line of scrimmage as a 5th guy on base downs, just fucking up tight ends at the point of attack, all that kind of stuff. You'll rush him off the edge if you want. If you have like a fire zone call, he's the 5th guy that you're rushing, And then slowly but surely, if you want to get more traditional off-ball work, yeah, you can put him back there as a traditional off-ball linebacker here and there. But he's really playing at his best on the line of scrimmage where he doesn't have to think so much. And I think that's why they made that move. Like I know injuries played a factor in it too, but he's just better there. And I think they want to ease him into being an actual linebacker rather than just throwing him in there all at once and having him get put into a blender. Same thing that happened with Von Miller. I think both of you asked that same question, but thank you, Ryan, for the $5. I hope that that last answer answered yours as well. Also, I love that web comic in your avatar. I haven't read that in a long time, but I always loved reading that. All right, Seahawks just got like 4, or sorry, not Seahawks. Rams got 4 to Cup on 1st and 10. It's good water. Thoughts on Hutchinson? I'm assuming you're talking about Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan. He's a monster, absolute monster, freak of nature. Kind of reminds me a lot of Max Crosby, but like even more athletic. And Max Crosby's pretty athletic. So that should tell you how much I like Aiden Hutchinson. I think he's an easy top 10 pick. Easy. Oh, good. Phil. Who was that coming off the edge? 27? Nice trigger to get downhill for the TFL. Oh, great work. Ooh, they brought a safety blitz on 3rd down. And again, Stafford's just not I don't know what it is, but Stafford's just not clicking with his guys. Like he's thrown to spots that they're just not at. And I don't know if it's his fault or his receiver's fault or what. But like especially on 3rd downs lately, like under pressure, like he'll throw to a spot that his receivers just aren't at. So I think he's just seeing coverages different than they are. Tom K, I think I might have missed your super chat. Let me know what it was, and I'll answer it. Has this stream always been a thing? I think I've only done it once so far this season, but I want to do it more on Thursday nights, like a watch along. Yeah, just chatting, watching football, commenting on NFC West madness. I wish that I could just show the actual game, but I'm pretty sure my channel would get deleted. Can you let us sync by saying exactly when the snap is, one player two? Yeah, I could do that when it comes back from commercial. The Rams just got forced off the field on 3rd down, so I'll let you know when it's because I don't know if you guys are ahead of me or behind me, but I'll do a sync when they come back. Pouring myself a rum cola. Ooh, I haven't had a rum cola in a while. As I have Korean fried chicken. Oh, I'm so jealous. I love Korean fried chicken. Oh man. The best kind of KFC, Korean fried chicken. 3 a.m. though. Where are you? Let's see. Where is it 3 a.m. right now? Somewhere in Europe, I have to imagine, right? Like Germany, Netherlands, somewhere around there. Oh, that's right. You gave me euros too. That's probably a clue. Love Korean fried chicken. All right, let me catch up here. Any thoughts or comments on Daniel Jones' progress this season, and what's the next step from being upper top 12-ish QB? I mean, again, it just comes down to ball security. He's had good ball security so far this year, but for every great throw or great run that he would make early in his career, there would be a turnover. And so I think this year he's taken a good step in terms of cutting down the interceptions and cutting down the fumbles, which is had a drastic impact on his overall performance, because now when we get a highlight, it's not like a one step forward, one step back. It's just one step forward. And some of the deep balls that he threw last week were gorgeous. I think he's acquitted himself well with pretty poor pass protection so far this year. Again, as long as he keeps cutting down on these, yeah, okay, Van Jefferson, there's something up. Stafford just expecting. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 Seahawks. I will tell you right when they snap the ball. It is right now from the 19-yard line. Alex Collins, nice little run there. I didn't catch the box count for the Rams. Did I take the Alex Collins over? No, I didn't. I thought about it. I definitely thought about it. All right, 1st and 10. coming up after that Collins run. Let's see what we got here personnel wise. Looks like they're in 12. Super condensed. Bad throw from Russ. Left it low and outside for his tight end. Like, I know it hit him in the hands, but that's such a tough catch. Like, if you're drifting a little bit down the field because you're expecting him to put on it so that you can turn and run, and then he leaves it low and away. It's a tough catch. All right, here we go. 12 personnel again. Wing trips or no. Oh, 4x1. Nub. Good job by Wilson. Oh, come on, Russ. Again. All right, we got a flag, though. Thrown at his tight end's ankles again. That would have been such a great play. That was a really nice look from Waldron, too, using that late motion to get into 4x1. Oh, now I see. Okay, Russ expected his tight end to stop because he didn't want to throw it directly into the underneath defender. Looks a little bit different from that angle. All right, 1st and 10 again after the hold on the Rams. Looks like they're nickel too high again. Run the ball. There it is. Good fit from too high, though. Stop him for 1 yard. Who made that play? That's not easy to do. Trust me, I'm doing a whole episode on that this week. It's not easy to do to fit that from too high. No replay. 4-3. Okay. Interesting. Oh. Great ball from Russ to find DK. They're using a lot of late motion to try to kind of discombobulate this Rams defense. And try to catch guys in communication mistakes. The pass rush has made up for it though for the Rams. Like whatever windows are there are closing pretty quick because the pass rush is forcing Russ off his spot. Great little improvisation from DK there too. And again, for sticking in too high, and they're still holding Collins, other than that one run to 3, 4, sometimes 1 yard to carry. They're kicking ass up front. Again, other than that one run. Great pressure on Russ. Like this drive, I'm actually surprised this drive is as successful it is because the Rams defensive line's playing so well. 2nd and 6 here. Good leg churn from Collins to get the extra 2 yards there. Credit to the Hawks, man. They're fighting. Rams defense is just huffing and puffing now. They've been on the field for a while, and they've had to deal with no huddle the whole time here. All right, 3rd and 2. What do you got? Oh, they're definitely playing 3 week here. Yeah, they're rotating down. Oh man, what a play! Was that Donald or was that 54? Yeah, Leonard Floyd. Did they even block him? I don't think they did. Russ tried to freeze him with his eyes, and Leonard just went. He just triggered. Great play from Leonard Floyd. That means he trusted his backers and safeties to take Russ if Russ kept it, and he just did his job. Just go get the running back. All right. Are they going to play 3 week again? Ooh. What? Oh, wow. They brought out 13 on 4th and 2 and running it? That wasn't even a short, that was a long 4th and 2. Why are you running it? The hell are you doing? That had no shot. Their defensive line had been kicking your ass this entire drive, and you run on like 4th and 2.5? Are you insane? Okay. Good stop by the Rams, but that was a terrible play call. Like, you bring out a yum look on 4th and 2.5. Yum, by the way, YUM, the Y tight end, the U tight end, and the M tight end, which is a name that some defensive coaches use for a third tight end, all in a wing. They call it Yum. Haha, fun, creative. Uh, that's what I like to call the kind of like bonus wing look, because that name's always stuck out to me ever since I saw what playbook. I think it was Gus Bradley. I think that's how he IDs 13 personnel bonus wing. He just calls it Yum because he designates it Y, U, and then M. What a shit play call. Okay. Thank you, sir, for the €5. I'm from Finland, and I have alcohol ready for whatever heart attack my Seahawks will try to give me tonight. Oh, you're the one. Man, KFC in Finland. How about that? You got good Korean food in Finland? I've always wanted to go to Finland. It's gorgeous there. Absolutely gorgeous. Really all of uh like northern Europe, like what do they call them? The like Sweden, Finland, Denmark. It's not Nordic. What do they call it? All those like northern European countries with like the fjords and stuff. Absolutely gorgeous. I've always wanted to go there. Scandinavian? That's the word. Man, do I miss Leonard Floyd. I assume you're a Bears fan. I miss Leonard Floyd too. Oh man, what a great stack and shed from Aaron Donald. And what a terrible play call. Once again, Seahawks defense asked to do the heavy lifting. Oof. Big hole for Daryl Henderson on 1st and 10. Was there anybody in the B gap bubble there? I don't think so. Every run up the middle is a favor for the Rams. Yeah, you're telling me. All right, Stafford wants it deep. Great coverage. Great coverage. Who's one for the Rams? That's not Tutu, is it? Oh, no, it's Deshaun. Isn't it crazy that Deshaun Jackson at 34 is still one of the fastest dudes in the league? That's nuts. That guy's a freak. Like, legitimately one of the fastest dudes in the league, and he's 34. Oh, this looks like screen to me. Yep, there it is. Did I fucking call it or what? Oh man. Yeah, look at how far he is. Like, they're not running from that. Look how far he was split out wide to Stafford. I was like, that's either a pitch or a screen. My money says screen. Oh, and sack on Stafford. All right, who got through on that? Oh man, 52. 50. I gotta pull up a roster, see who's who here. All right, quarters look on 7 7 or second and 17. Excuse me. Oh my god, how are you leaving that big of a void on second and 17? Are you just not going to match at all? Oh god, the safety was so late to trigger on that. If 2 is under in the first 5 yards, you rob 1. That's like first rule of quarters. If 2 is under, you rob 1. He was so late to trigger. And there's Robert Woods. God. Same thing happened last year. Like Seahawks in zone coverage do not mix in the first 6 weeks. Like they get so discombobulated. There's so many communication errors, people not doing their job. Like, again, you're the low hole player and a crosser comes directly in front of your face. Pick it up. My super chat from earlier was whether the Falcons draft Willis or Thibodeau with their inevitable top 5 pick. Oh my God, they better take Malik Willis. They better take Malik Willis. Like they already messed up last year not taking Justin Fields. Like absolutely they should take Malik Willis. Like Thibodeau's a great player, but like Matt Ryan's 30 what now? Mid 30s, late 30s? Like you got to take a young talented quarterback at some point. And they'd be very lucky to get him. Very lucky. Like, again, love Kayvon Thibodeau, but he does not fix their long term problem, which is who's going to succeed Matt Ryan. Sorry, catching up on chat here since I'm a little bit behind. Isn't it crazy how perfect Seattle is at shooting momentum in the foot? It's so on brand. It's so on brand. Oh, man. What do I think about Mac's performance against the Bucks? I think they need a receiver that can run 4-3 because it's going to be really hard for them to stretch the field when their best deep threat is Nelson Aguilar, who's like fine, but like they need a true field stretcher that defensive coordinators do not feel comfortable leaving one-on-one. They don't have that. Like Nelson Aguilar can rip off a big play here, a big play there, but he's not like a DK Metcalf where like you are scared to death of leaving him on an island. It's not the same thing. Like Chris Olave would be great for them because he'll give him that element and more. Which quarterback should the Steelers take? I would say either Matt Corral, or Malik Willis. Those are probably my 2 favorite right now. Again, I haven't totally looked at a lot of the others yet. Like I still got to go through Pickett, Ritter. Rattler's fun in flashes, but highly inconsistent. But the ones that I really love so far from what I've watched are Willis and oh man, Van Jefferson, you got to catch that. Oh, that's rough. The ones that I like the most from what I've seen are Malik Willis and Matt Corral, who I loved a lot last year too. Willis just went back to school, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, but like for him, not unfortunately. All right, second and goal for the Rams here from the 8-yard line. Seahawks in quarters against empty. What you got, Matt? Oh, did he just throw a pick? Was he trying to throw that away? What is this game? Why is everyone horrible? Also, hell of a catch, but what? All right. What? Yeah, this is a good angle. What's the plan here, Matt? Who are you trying to hit? Yeah, he was just trying to throw it away. Holy shit. Oh no. Hell of a pick by Quandre Diggs, though. Oh no. That's crazy. Yeah, look at Stafford on the camera. He's like, you gotta be kidding me. And now Russell's running for his life, as is tradition against the Rams. Still gets 7 yards. I'm a culinary school grad. I've made the KFC myself. Oh, homemade Korean fried chicken's even better. No places here that are open at 4 a.m. Come to America. We got lots. Especially out in LA near where I live. You want Korean fried chicken at 4 a.m. You can get Korean fried chicken at 4 a.m. Tons of places. It's the best part of LA is that you can get great food literally any hour of any day. They just they don't close here. No answer to the WFT super chat. Throw it back up again for me, Henry. I'm going through now, trying to catch up here. Alex Collins fighting for yards. Daryl Taylor 4 sacks in 5 games. That's pretty impressive. Definitely not what I foresaw from him. Like he was always a great athlete, but technical, like in terms of technical development, he was raw as raw could be. So for him to be getting this many sacks early on in his career is pretty good testament to the Seahawks coaching staff getting him there. Oh no, another pick. This game is a complete shit show. Oh no. Oh man. Oh, he had Lockett too. He just put it on the wrong shoulder. That's just a bad ball. That's just a bad ball. All right, I'm trying to find Augustine's super chat here. Legion of Room is back. Yeah, you would think with how much these defenses are getting gashed, there'd be more points in this game, but no. How depressing is it that my Vikings are possibly 3 plays away from being 4-0? Um, can you consider anything with the Vikings depressing at this point? It feels like it's more just expected. Like no matter the talent, they're gonna find a way to screw themselves over. That's just what the Vikings do. It's totally on brand. Like, they're a good team. Like, on paper, yeah, they should be undefeated, but it's the Vikings. Like, every week, somebody else is gonna find a way to make a critical mistake that costs them a game. It's maddening. Like, if I was a Vikings fan, I don't know how I'd sleep at night after some of these losses. They're so infuriating. Let's see. I think I answered the super chat, but just in case I didn't, Matt Corral and Malik Willis are the two that I would want. The problem is the Steelers. I don't know if they are going to be bad enough to have a high enough pick. They might have to trade up. They might have to trade up. Like, as terrible as Big Ben has been this year, their defense is good enough that I still think they might win just enough games to be outside the top 10, in which case it's going to be hard for them to get Corral or Willis without trading up. So they, again, I'm not saying tank, but if they lost a few games here, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for them. They kind of need that. All right, here we go. Rams 1st and 10. Ball just snapped right now. Stafford going deep. Incomplete to Van Jefferson. Did he even have a good look for that? Seemed like he was trusting Van to split the safety there. Oh, it was Ramsey that tipped it up. Yeah, you don't throw late and behind against Ramsey. That's just asking for trouble. All right, here we go. 2nd and 10. Too high from the Seahawks from the Rams 48. And ball is snapped right now. Got cut for a 5-yard gain. Who were the good mid-first OL prospects? Linderbaum from Iowa's probably one that is going to go in the first round. Extraordinarily physically gifted center. Also, the only guy to ever pin Tristan Wirfs in wrestling. Like, that's how freaky he is. Excellent movement skills, multi-year starter. People that I've talked to that are in the Iowa program said he's a great dude, great leader. Like, Linderbaum will go in the first round. Evan Neal's an absolute freak show over at Bama. He's like 6'7", 350, and it's like a Mekhi Becton part 2. Who else is there? Off the top of my head, I think Washington's got a guy, but I haven't looked at him yet. Again, I haven't dove too much into the offensive line prospects outside of Iowa and Bama and Notre Dame. I looked at the Notre Dame guys, but none of them I don't think are going to be first round picks. So yeah, I'm slowly kind of going through offensive line prospects, but I just haven't looked at a whole lot of them yet. All right, 3rd and 10 for the Rams. And they just gave up. They just ran. Man, this game sucks so far. Not gonna lie. Like, it's one thing if it's like a clean defensive battle, but there's just been like offensive sloppiness is what it is. Like, the defenses aren't even like completely shutting down the offenses. The offenses are just making terrible mistakes. Would I draft Willis with the 1st overall pick? I draft him with the top 5 pick. I don't know about 1st overall yet, but I probably lean more towards the yes side of that answer than the no. Is my software dropping people's super chats? Yeah, StreamYards is if the chat fills up before I scroll down and then I try to scroll back, like it'll force me to go to the newest chat. And then when I try to scroll back up to previous ones, it like gets rid of them. So the only way I can see them is if I'm on YouTube itself. So what I want to do is set up OBS because I think OBS will stop that from happening and it'll just like preserve my super chats. I'm not I think Bulldog's in here. I'll have to ask him because he streams on OBS. I'll have to ask him and get that set up. Because StreamYards it's convenient, but it's very inconsistent sometimes when it comes to super chats, and it annoys the piss out of me. The reason WFT defense has been struggling, really uncreative game plans, like country zones, meaning it's just spot drop zones, dudes running through wide open voids in the defense. Like I don't know what it is, but they seem to not really want to call zone match principles, and they're comfortable with just dudes dropping to spots and then letting receivers just settle in the voids. So they give up easy completions over and over and over again. The linebackers have been underwhelming. Like I don't know what they're doing on the coaching staff there on defense so far. I really don't. It's been kind of bullshit this first month. Like they have the talent to like match up with people on islands in space and just go hunt with the front seven, and they're not doing that. It's soft coverage. It's like they seem to not really want to just like even threaten to bring blitzers to give one-on-ones to their pass rushers up front. Like it's a soft defense. It's just soft. And it's not that the players are bad. I think that it's very unimaginative bullshit game plans from the staff. All right, here we go. Game's back now. 1st and 10 for the Seahawks after another change of possession. Ooh. Just broke a nice little run there on the tap sweep. Are they in no huddle? Sounds like they're going to be in no huddle. Really well blocked, too. And good job by Leonard Floyd kind of folding in on the backside and chasing that down. That could have been a lot worse. That's a tough play for him to make as the backside edge. Oh, here comes the shot. Moonball. And there's PI. Yeah. he 31 knew he was giving that one up if he didn't just tackle him by the ankles. Was that Lockett too? I think it was. All right, I'm trying to find Augustine's super chat here because he gave me Connor's, but I want to get Augustine's. Lions are playing with players that represent like 28% of the salary cap. They're absolutely taking QB1. Oh, yeah. Like Goff is not the long term plan for them. I'd be very surprised if Jared Goff is a long term plan for the Lions. If they pick first overall, they're probably going to take a quarterback. Because why would you take Kayvon Thibodeau? Like, again, Kayvon Thibodeau is a great player, but your quarterback's Jared Goff. Take Malik Willis. If he ends up being the guy that you wanted, blah, 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 blah. We'll get there. We got plenty of time to determine whether Malik Willis is a first overall kind of quarterback. I think he's at least a top 5 kind of quarterback. But is he like slam dunk, no doubt about it, first guy off the board? That I'm not sure yet. All right, here we go. Seahawks 2nd and 7. Rams definitely in quarters, threatening to bring 5. They only bring 4. DK touchdown. Easy clap. Easy clap. Was that just a bender inside the boundary corner that was playing like 12 yards off? Might have been. Oh, it's on Ramsey. He just cross face, ran right by him. Oof. Oof. But the 3 cone, though. Oh, man. All right, Schroeder for $5. Do you ever want a job in football? I have a friend on the Gophers coaching staff, and he rates you so high. Wow, I appreciate that. I didn't know that they knew who I was. That's really flattering because I love what the Gophers do. I'm a big fan of their staff as well. I'm genuinely flattered. Well, I think I'm connecting to Cleveland through Minneapolis, so let him know if he wants to stop by the Minneapolis airport for a drink on my layover. Wow, I didn't even know they know who I was. That's genuinely surprising to me. And really cool. Really cool. Sometimes like people say like, "Oh, Brett, your channel's like so big and stuff." And I'm like, I don't know, I'm just making videos in a spare bedroom. It doesn't feel big, but that's cool. It's really cool. Let's see. Cam for $2. Looks like Kyler's running away with MVP. Not so fast. Not so fast. Long way to go yet. This time last year, Russ was running away with MVP. And then look what happened. Not so fast. But Kyler's the front runner right now. But in the words of Pete Carroll, can you win the game in the first quarter? No. All right. Still on the eternal hunt for Augustine's super chat. Trying to get there, boys. We've been on a fucking journey together trying to find this super chat. But let it be known, I will always try to find your super chats. All right. We got one from Abby here. Despite our best efforts, people won't give up on the Baker is worse because of Odell takes. Don't even get me started. I've seen it pop up this week again because of that like missed touchdown to Odell. And they're like, it's Odell's fault that Baker missed that. Why? He was open by 6 yards and Baker missed. Why is that Odell's fault? He didn't telepathically tell Baker, hey, throw a shit ball to me so we don't score. Like, it's mind numbing. Like fucking galaxy brain takes that these people have. Like Baker's suddenly inaccurate when Odell's on the field. Like, football doesn't work that way. What? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's like, or maybe the Chicago Bears have a pretty good defense, and maybe the Minnesota Vikings have a pretty good defense, and so the Browns score less in the games that Odell happened to play in because they're playing against pretty good defenses. Oh, and by the way, the quarterback has a partially torn labrum. Maybe. But yes, you're right. Winning helps block out the idiocy. I got a buddy with the Browns, and like I'll text him about it every now and then, and like they laugh at it. They laugh at like the notion that Odell somehow makes them a worse team. Like actually laugh at it. They love him there. Oh, god damn it. Chat just refreshed again. All right, scroll, scroll, scroll. I was just about to get to Timothy Fox. No, fuck it, got rid of it. All right, Timothy Fox, he sent in a $10 super chat. And like literally right when I clicked on it, chat refreshed and got rid of it. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can scroll back on the YouTube version and find it. All right. When do you predict? I think I think this was the correct one. When do you predict the Jags will finally break their losing streak? Thoughts on the game this week given the impressive Titans injury report? You say impressive. I say, oh my God. They have 21 people in the Titans injury report right now. If I look at the Jags schedule, Rams first and 10 here, by the way, from the 45-yard line. So that's Sony Michel with the 3-yard carry. 20% of the way to the over-under of like 15 yards. So they got the Titans, then the they could beat the Dolphins. If Tua's not coming back, they could beat the Dolphins. Like their offensive line has been so terrible. And not to mention like Jacoby Brissett hasn't been great. Like the Dolphins have been really bad. Basically after week 1. Like weeks 2 through 4, the Dolphins are really bad. They could beat Miami. I'm not saying it will happen, but they very easily could. They're probably not going to beat Seattle. They're definitely not going to beat Buffalo. Probably won't beat the Colts. Probably won't beat the Niners. Falcons, maybe. But that's like November, like late November. So if they don't beat Miami or Tennessee, they might not get their first win till like Thanksgiving. Great route from Robert Woods. We got to be close to him popping on the over. All right. First and 10 here. Sony Michel, another 6 yards. Again, that's why like these low over-unders scare me, dude. He gets like 4 of those carries and he pops it. Like it's such a low total. That felt like a trap to me. Oh, so I did answer it. We got it, boys. Oh man. All right, Cup just converted on 2nd and 3. Brett, you should get into coaching. I don't know enough. Believe it or not. I talk to like actual like pro, college, high school level coaches, all of them. And like it's insane how much they know about football. Like I think I know a lot about football. They know everything about football. It's pretty crazy how much football coaches, like good football coaches, um, just have stored up in their brain. It's pretty insane. Like I would love to, but like I'm so not ready to coach. I'm like nowhere near, I think, the knowledge level that I would need to even start. Maybe one day. But like I think I'm good. And then I talk to like, a DB coach that's been doing it for 30 years, and I'm like, oh my God, you're a cyborg. Second and 2 on Michelle, stuff for no gain. Who was that? 51? Yeah, Kerry Hyder. Such a weird number for a defensive lineman, by the way. 51. Aesthetically, just doesn't sit right with me. Like that's a linebacker number. That's not a DL number. All right, 3rd and 2. What are they in 12? I think no, they're in 11. But they're still going to run that bunch close. Ooh. Michelle powered through. He made it close. I'd go for it. I'd go for it. Still first half. It's only a 7-point game. Fourth and less than a yard. Just go for it. And it seems like they are. Good. All right. What look are they going to give you? Ooh. All right. They got it. I think I was inside zone that they called. I was a little bit worried that they were going to bring a run blitz, but they didn't. Oh, great block from 63 on Al Woods. Great block. Got just enough of a piece of him for Michelle to just put his pads down and get that yard. Robert Woods again. Really happy I picked the over on him. Brett, come coach UW football. Which UW? Madison's a cool town, but I think I'd rather live in Seattle. Like, if I had the choice between West UW and Midwest UW, Seattle's pretty cool. Just saying. As great as Madison is, Seattle's pretty cool. I have more subscribers than most nightly news shows. How many subscribers does a nightly news show usually get? The thing that I'm bad with about YouTube is I have no like point of reference for like YouTube. Like I never know like if I'm doing well or not. I just like make stuff and then sponsors pay me and then I just make the next thing. And I'm very bad at like stepping back and looking at the macro of the business. Like I'm a terrible business person. I'm a much better like watcher of football and creator of content than I am a business person. I could be optimizing this channel so much better business wise and be making so much more money, but I'm too dumb to do that. I don't know how. So I just keep making videos and eventually I'm just hoping everything is going to work out. William, if you StreamYards might have deleted it, so post it again for me. I'm gonna look for it right now and get to it. Autumn, a tip from someone in Ohio: just run. I don't know. I was looking at places to eat in Cleveland. They seem to have a pretty decent food scene there. A lot of breweries, shitloads of breweries in Cleveland. So I'm all about that. Can I please have a shout out? Hello to you, Rocco. Thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate that. Have I been to M&T Bank Stadium? I have not, but I've always wanted to go to the bank for a primetime game, especially if they're going to be playing Omar's Whistle during primetime games now. Like that's pretty sick. I want to go there and see that in person. All right, here we go. Rams got the ball again. 2nd and 4. Ball is being snapped right now. Looks like a split zone look or fake split zone look. Got another 3. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Brett, I sent a super chat earlier. Thoughts on Vrabel? It seems like he's done nothing to address issues we've had for years, like poor blocking or play calling, like running Henry up the middle. Like in terms of the like they had a good offensive line, a really good offensive line a couple years ago. I do think it was a mistake to let Conklin go. I think that's become very apparent. I don't think they've invested enough high draft assets on the interior offensive line. Oh my God, Rams stopped him again, or Seahawks stopped him again. Was that Al Woods? 99? Yeah. All right, let me see this. What was the call? Oh my God, he just manhandled 73. Oh my God, to be on the back shoulder of that guard and just generate the force to push him back and then still fight front side when you step in the bucket off the snap and you're like already behind and then fighting back front side to get a TFL. You know how hard that is to do for a nose tackle? That's an insane play. That's insane. Great job by Al Woods. Um, Now, as for Vrabel, again, I think it's more of a Robinson issue in terms of where they're allocating draft resources. I think they were maybe a little bit too overconfident that they could replace Conklin for cheap, and they couldn't. And I think they paid the price for that. Again, I don't think they invested enough in the interior offensive line. Like once you get a Pro Bowl caliber tackle like Conklin, you should keep that tackle, and they just didn't. Like Henry, I think is still an amazing player, but they haven't done enough to help Henry be amazing. He's kind of had to do it all by himself sometimes. Like I was at the Seahawks game. I watched Henry with my own eyes, and they were just pounding him and pounding him and pounding him until eventually Henry just bounced outside, did his little normal stiff arm thing and was Derrick Henry and was the fastest dude on the field down the boundary. And like that 60-yard touchdown run was him. Like that wasn't blocked for him. He just did it. So, he's their MVP by far. And I do think the front office has done a poor job of making Derrick Henry's life as easy as possible. I don't necessarily think that's a Vrabel issue. I do think it's a Robinson issue. Scroll. Getting back to the chess. They're coming in fast and furious now. Michelle is definitely over 20 yards. Actually, let me see what he's at. I'm genuinely curious. 35. Yeah, so he already hit the over on mine. Let's see. So Stafford's at 13 completions. I need him to have under 26. I have DK Metcalf on the under on receptions. He's at 2. I have an under 5.5. Lockett, I have over 71.5 yards. He's at 29. Jefferson, I have over 3.5 receptions. He's at 1. So I need a big second half to make this work. But we'll see. I meant Seattle, UW. Good man. As a Midwesterner, choose Seattle. It sucks here. I don't know. I like parts of the Midwest. I love Chicago. I haven't been to a whole lot else of the Midwest. I've been in an airport in Detroit, but other than that, I haven't got to explore the Midwest too much. It's kind of why I'm excited to go to Cleveland next week, is just like see another part of the Great Lakes region. Never been up there before. Okay, here we go. 1st and 10 for Seattle, 28-yard line. 4-2 nickel for the Rams, too high. It's quarters all the way. Oh, he got him. 31. Is that Alex Collins? Did he just get a go ball to Alex Collins? The hell happened there? I think he did. I got to go back and watch that, see what happened. All right, they're in hurry up here. 35. You got to go, Russ. You got to go. I'm not sure I'd run the ball there. Taking 15 seconds off the clock, then running the ball and forcing yourself to take a timeout. I don't know about that, guys. I don't know about that. Oh, they hit. Oh, man. They hit a nod rail to Collins against man. Oh, that's crafty. I mean, you don't expect them to throw a rail route to Alex Collins of all people. What a call. What a call. All right, here we go. 2nd and 6 for the Hawks. Still in the huddle. Still quarters from the Rams. Ooh, tunnel screen to the boundary? No, they got 2x2. They're not going to do it out of that. Oh, okay. I think Russ got hit when he threw that because that was like 20 yards over Tyler Lockett's head. At least I hope he got hit when he threw, or else what the hell? Oh, yeesh. Aaron Donald coming off the edge. What a monster. How many interior defensive linemen do you know that can also rush as a wide 9 and be better than 95% of the other actual defensive ends in the league? I don't know if I'd call that rough in the passer. Like, yeah, there was light contact to the head, like light contact, but it was more like a downward motion into his shoulder than. It's not like he gave him a forearm shiver. It's kind of a ticky tack call. Not sure I agree with that. All right, 2x2 here. You're going to get a deep post to the field if you want it. Nope. They rotated to 1 high. Saw that one coming. And the Seahawks ran a good look for it too. They did have a post to number 1 to the field, but when they rotated to 1 high, that took it away. So Russ just worked it to number 2 instead. That's why teams are like scared to play quarters against Seattle, because they throw deep balls better than all but 2 other teams in the league. All right, 2nd and 1, 16 seconds, no timeouts. You got to throw it, I would imagine. Because, like, operation-wise, I don't think you're going to want to run it and then try to get people lined up real quick for a spike. That might cost you the chance to throw it to the end zone. Like, I think you have to throw. Operationally, I think you'll cost yourself a play if you try to run it. See what they do here. Oh. How does he get that wide open? Oh, there's a flag, though. Hold on. Oh, holding on Seattle. Oh, that's brutal. His hand's not. Okay, it's a little bit of a hold. Okay. It's a lot of bit of a hold. Oh, that's brutal though. Thoughts on 49ers versus Cardinals? I am fascinated to see Trey Lance start. Like utterly fascinated because I want to see what that run game looks like. Because we know that Kyle Shanahan's not afraid to get a quarterback involved in the run game. He did it when he had RG3. He did it a little bit when he had God, who was the guy with the Browns that he had that one year when he was in Cleveland? Like I'm excited to see that 49ers run game against Arizona that likes to play a lot of five-man surfaces. And most of the time they're going to have these outside linebackers be the read player. So it's going to be like Trey Lance reading Chandler Jones and Trey Lance reading on occasion JJ Watt if they're doing it from nickel. And then, for me, what I would do with Arizona is just kind of same thing we saw with Leonard Floyd earlier in this game, where it's like, hey, Chandler, you just go get the running back. Isaiah and 25 Zaven Collins, like they'll be the Trey Lance guys in space because they run like 4-4. So the thing that I can't wait to see is that Niners run game because I think we're going to get to see a lot of Trey Lance versus Isaiah Simmons in the open field, which is like just athlete on athlete, and I think it's going to be fascinating to watch to see how they handle that because I don't think Arizona's really played against that kind of mobile quarterback yet. Like Trevor Lawrence is mobile, but he's not Trey Lance mobile. So that should be fun to watch. All right, here we go. 10 seconds left. Prevent from the Rams. Yeah, they're just setting up a field goal. Well, I don't know. 7 seconds. They could take another shot here because you can run a pass play in 5 seconds and maybe have like 1 second for a field goal. Oh no, they're just going for a field goal on third down. Okay, they just don't want to risk it, but they don't have a timeout. So if they like botch the snap, half's going to be over anyway. Oh, he missed it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. So the Seahawks go from getting 7 to getting nothing. How many red zone appearances did we have in that first half? And it's 7-3. What the hell? Matthew Wright for 490. What the hell are the Niners doing? I'm assuming they're starting Trey Lance, right? Unless I missed something. I don't think Jimmy G practiced today. So I'm assuming they're starting Trey Lance. If they don't start Trey Lance, I'm going to be real mad because the offense just isn't working with Jimmy, period, anyway. Like they're starting to get Trey Sermon involved now, which is good. He was inactive week 1 for special teams reasons, even though he's a better running back than Elijah Mitchell, in my opinion. So, Kyle Shanahan being Kyle Shanahan. Ayuk took a few weeks to get back on the field because they were having him slow to return from his hammy. It's frustrating. They're a frustrating team right now, but I truly believe that once Trey Lance is starting and he's established and he's the guy, everything's going to start working. I really do believe that. I hope for that. Because if this doesn't work with Trey Lance, it's not going to work at all. Because Jimmy G ain't it. Thoughts on Raheem Morris's Rams DC? I think he's continuing a lot of the stuff that Brandon Staley did for them last year. Like he's not really rocking the boat too much schematically, and I think it works for them. It absolutely works for them. The problem is the Rams just don't have the same secondary talent that they did last year. So there's a lot more communication mistakes. They don't match up as well in terms of like man coverage. But schematically, they're very similar to last year. And it works. Okay, let's see here. Have I ever tried shilling hard cider? I mean, I love hard cider. I don't hate hard cider at all. I will say hard cider sometimes it's kind of like IPAs. Like people just make it overly dry for the sake of making it overly dry. Like with IPAs, they make it super hoppy for the sake of making it super hoppy, and it just kind of ruins what makes cider good. So like I like a dry cider, but not like a dry to the point where like I feel like I have like cotton mouth. Like a bad cider is the cider that makes me feel like I have cotton mouth. I forgot I brought coffee up here too. All right, boys, let's check in on my ticket here. Where is it? Where's my underdog ticket? Oh, I gotta pull it into its own thing. There we go. All right, share screen once again. All right, so let's see. We're halfway, a little under halfway to hitting on Russ over 295.5. We're literally dead halfway on Stafford. That one makes me a little bit nervous. So I'm hoping the Rams just run the ball a shitload in the second half. DK under 5.5. I think we have a shot for that one. We have a shot. If he just gets 5, I'm okay with that. He's probably on pace for about 5. And then Lockett, I think, will hit as long as they're stopped. Like every time they throw it to Lockett, there's a penalty on somebody. So as long as that stops happening, I think we'll be okay. And then Van Jefferson, that's the one I'm most worried about, to be honest. Like they're targeting him, but there's just not a lot of catches so far. So I'm still in it. I got a good shot here hitting on that $2,000. But it's not going to be easy. Okay, let me catch up on chat here because I think I'm way behind on it. Scrolling. Oh, thank you, Big Time Browns, for $2. Appreciate that. Maybe an unpopular opinion, but I think the Steelers should give Haskins a year under center and look for a new QB next year if they need one. I think they can do both. I think they can draft a quarterback in the first round and still play Haskins until Haskins or if Haskins fails. Because, like, what's the worst case scenario? Haskins plays well, your rookie quarterback sits on the bench, and then you trade Haskins for assets. Like, if that's the worst case scenario of Haskins being quote unquote good, that fine. Or if Haskins is bad, then whatever. You got a rookie that you can play anyway. Like, I think that's best case scenario is Ben retires, Haskins starts until either Haskins starts or there's like a competition or however they want to message it. I don't care. But, he can be the presumptive starter until they think the rookie's ready. And again, if that means that Haskins plays well, oh yeah, see, this was the pick where Stafford got hit. Just like 3 to 5 plays in this game changed the outcome. I'm telling you. Watch this. And then, boom. Couldn't follow through. Ball fluttered on him. Dunzo. It was a lot closer game than you think. A lot closer game. Jimmy G went through all of the walkthroughs virtually. They better not be starting Jimmy on a bad calf. Like, my patience has been wearing very thin with the 49ers this year. Very thin. I'm just over it. I'm so over it. Thoughts on Henderson and Gilmore to Carolina? I love the additions. Henderson's extremely talented. It's just on that coaching staff to get the most out of him, talent wise. The thoughts about he didn't mesh with Urban Meyer or whatever, like that's believable to me because I think there's just like a lot of guys that just don't like Urban Meyer. So as evidenced by everything that happened this week. So I mean, yeah, that I don't necessarily hold it against somebody when they don't get along with Urban, because there's a lot of people that don't get along with Urban. Like a lot of people that don't get along with Urban. It's like saying like, oh, you don't. No, I can't. Actually, I shouldn't say that on air. I'm gonna prevent myself from getting in trouble. But no, I don't hold it against CJ Henderson. And Matt Rule's a really good dude. Phil Snow's a really good coach. Contrary to the bullshit game plan they rolled out last week against Dallas, they're still a good coaching staff. So it's just on them to get the most out of CJ Henderson. And then Stephon Gilmore. Like, Gilmore's a pro. He just needs to come back from that quad injury. And, even if he's not like 100% till second half of the year, and then JC comes back. So, like, if your starting corners or your top four corners are, JC Horn, Dante Jackson, CJ Henderson, and Stephon Gilmore, you're doing okay. Like, Carolina's planning for the playoffs right now. They're not planning for next month. Like, I know it sounds like, they're bringing these guys in to fill for Jay. Like, no, they're bringing these guys in because they know that by January, everybody's going to be fine. And then they're going to have crazy corner depth in January. Like, that's what they're planning for here, is like, hey, let's have all these dudes by playoffs. Six more touchdowns and a field goal for the over. What was the over under? Like 40 something? Like high 40s? Had to have been a high 40s. Which, like, on a Thursday game, I'm not. I wouldn't take that over. That reminds me, there's probably a second half bet that I can put in for this game. Like, I might take the second half over, but I'm not taking a full game over like 49. That's crazy. Not in this game, at least. Two questions. Thank you, Guy with no vowels, for $5. I'm assuming you're European as well if you have no vowels. Any chance of Lamar MVP repeat? Second question, Ravens fan here. How the hell do you fix the Steelers quarterback situation since they don't want to tank? I'm not saying it's a good idea, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they traded for Deshaun Watson, because they're so committed to not ever being a bottom five team, or rather not ever having a bottom or a top five pick. Like, they don't want to tank. They don't want to be a losing team. They've never had a losing season with Mike Tomlin. They don't want to start now. Like, they are so committed to never being a bad team, even when it's time for them to, like, legitimately kind of strip some assets, rebuild the roster, like, just be bad for a year so they can come back strong. Like they're on that kind of cycle of life here of a football team with a 39-year-old quarterback that just can't play anymore. They refuse to die. They refuse to go through that cycle of life. So they might actually trade for Deshaun Watson. Again, I'm not advocating for it. I'm not saying it's a good idea. It's probably a bad idea. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they do it because it's one of the only ways that I can see, quote unquote, out of this situation where they might be required to be bad for a year. They don't want to do that. As for Lamar MVP rebeat, very possible. He's playing out of his mind right now. Arguably the best deep ball passer in the league. Obviously, he's still an amazing threat with his legs. Smart, tough, accurate leader, all that kind of stuff. Like he's one of the faces of the NFL, and he's got a couple marquee wins under his belt so far this season. And I wouldn't be surprised if he got a couple more this season. Like he kind of got over that Chiefs hurdle, which was big for him. If he goes through and wins the AFC North and challenges for first seed, especially with all the injuries they've been dealing with and everything like that, like, yeah, he would absolutely be in consideration for MVP. Absolutely. So he'd probably be one of the early favorites for me. Can I get my rundown on the thoughts for Ayuk? Was coming back from injury the first few weeks or the first couple weeks. They got him involved in week 3. And, he flashed that same level of talent that we came to expect back half of his rookie year. Looked great. Still a deep threat, like outsnapped Trent Sherfield like 9-1 in week 3. So yeah, he's the starter. He's the guy there in that role. But their quarterback situation, I think, limits his upside because what Ayuk does really well is 2 things: either run after catch or go get deep balls. He's not the same over the middle threat of Kittle or Debo, and Jimmy likes to work intermediate over the middle. Not a great deep ball thrower, not a great thrower outside the numbers. That's where Ayuk primarily operates. So until they fix their quarterback situation by getting a quarterback that can actually throw deep and utilize Ayuk's skill set, I think Ayuk, unfortunately, might be a little bit not limited effectiveness wise, but just limited stats wise because it's just not the right fit at quarterback for them. All right, kickoff just happened. So let me pull up the Gamecast here. And right there. Thoughts on Joey B. IG? Like Burrow's Instagram? Did something happen on Burrow's Instagram? I'm not familiar if there's a story there. Russell going deep? Nah, just a deep comeback to, is that my guy Lockett? It is. All right. Getting closer to the over, guys. Getting closer to the over. Cincinnati versus Green Bay thoughts. I think they have a legitimate chance to win since Jair Alexander's hurt. They don't have anybody else, in my opinion, that can handle Jamar Chase. Like Jair getting hurt on that tackle from against the spin move from Alex Collins. Jair getting hurt on that tackle against Najee last week, I think really kind of put them on the back foot for this Bengals game. It's very possible that Aaron Rodgers can go Super Saiyan again and absolutely blow these guys out. But I also think that the Bengals are going to put up a much better fight than people expect. And I think it's going to be a very offensive-oriented game because Jair's out. Like, he's a huge part of their defense. Huge part of their defense. At least I think he's out. Either way, he's hurt. And a less than 100% Jair Alexander against Jamar Chase is not a great matchup for them. Seeing that Invincible promo makes me want season 2 to come out right now. Uh, if you love wanton death and destruction. I don't know you know, what's a worse place to be an average citizen, Invincible or The Boys? Which universe do you think is worse to be a normal human being? Probably Invincible. I don't know. I feel like destroying an entire train full of people while you're having a family chat with your son. Probably not a great universe to live in. I can't deal with a dumb safety was said by Belichick. What's your bad quarterback trait that drives you insane? Oh, you almost caught that. Bad quarterback trait that drives you insane. Not being able to feel pressure. If you can't feel pressure and manipulate the pocket and know when to leave the pocket and know when to stay in the pocket, you can't play in this league. You just can't. It's not just about being able to navigate pressure between the tackles. It's about knowing when to get the hell out and when to step up and stay in. Because sometimes they try to flush you out of the pocket if you're like a nervous quarterback to then hit you out of the pocket. You know, they'll like wrap a guy around and have him meet you as you try to escape. So knowing when to stay in and when to leave, like again, that's I think Russ might have got that off. I don't know if that's a sack. I need to see the replay. Speaking of sacks and speaking of pocket presence, that's bothered me sometimes about Russ. Not all the time, but sometimes he does leave the pocket too early. It's been like, yeah, he was down. That's a sack. That's kind of like the one thing that's always bothered me about Russ is like sometimes he just, when you get interior pressure, he just leaves. He leaves way too early. And so the defensive line, they just set their landmarks super deep and outside and he gets flushed right into them. So I can't tolerate somebody who doesn't understand pressure and pocket manipulation. It's like you could even look at Mahomes. Like that's Mahomes' one flaw too, is dropping too deep in the pocket and sometimes just making it way too hard on his offensive line to protect him. Like there are great quarterbacks that even have issues with it. Mahomes, Wilson. Like not everybody can beat Tom Brady and Drew Brees. But my God, is it frustrating when you're watching Tom Brady and then you watch somebody who doesn't know how to navigate the pocket. It's like they're playing a different sport. Have you given up on Ayuk for fantasy yet? P.S. What happened to the Carolina defense part two? Carolina defense part two is coming out Saturday morning. I had to rework it because now it's about the Cowboys game and a really terrible defensive game plan that they put together against the Cowboys. It's already been recorded. It's in the editing phase right now. So that'll be coming out again Saturday morning, I believe. Or at least Saturday is the goal. If I can get it out Friday night, I'll get it out Friday night, but most likely it'll come out Saturday morning. As for if I've given up on Ayuk in fantasy yet, that question is tied to whether or not Trey Lance is starting. If Trey Lance is starting, no, I haven't given up. If Jimmy G is starting on one foot, I probably won't start Ayuk. I sent a super chat asking for advice. What do I look for at Heinz Field? It's my first NFL game and I need help. Let's see. What do you look for at Heinz Field? I mean, it's a great stadium. Amazing views of the Pittsburgh skylines right on the river. I've been there myself to see a game. The lines are long at concessions, so be ready for that. In terms of getting into and out of the stadium, it's a total shit show. So if you're going to get there early, very early. And if you're going to leave, like if you're leaving on an Uber, don't expect to catch an Uber anywhere near the stadium. You're going to have to walk a ways to get away from all the craziness of the traffic because it's a nightmare to get into and out of. So just be prepared to walk a little bit. Maybe just go get dinner after the game at one of the restaurants close by, and just wait for traffic to dissipate if you're staying really far away from the stadium because it is a journey to get in and out of there. Like uh, in Seattle, that stadium I was at a few weeks ago, it was super easy. I mean, it's like right next to downtown, so we just walked out of the stadium and walked 15 minutes to our hotel. Very, very easy. Not all stadiums are created equal. Vegas, super easy. Seattle, super easy. Atlanta, super easy. Um, I haven't done SoFi yet. And I think First Energy in Cleveland looks like it's going to be super easy because, again, it's like right next to downtown. So I think I could just walk to my hotel like 15 minutes and get right to the stadium. But yeah, Heinz is not easy. Not easy at all. Robert Woods, yet again. I wish that it let me take the over on Woods. That was the one that was blacked out that I wasn't allowed to select. I was kind of annoyed about that because I probably would have hit it already. It was like 64 yards, and it wouldn't let me pick it. All right, 2nd and 3 here for the Rams. Totally whiffed a back shoulder ball to Woods. Well, I'll tell you what, McVay said they were going to get Rob more involved in the offense this week, and he was not lying. He's had like 12 targets. I'm hearing a lot of buzz about Meyer not lasting the season. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised. Robert Woods again. I think he's got more catches in this game than he had all season combined. That's pretty crazy. I mean, he is their best receiver. It's kind of weird that they didn't really make a concerted effort to get him involved till now. You suck at the game for $2. How do you think Justin Fields played and will play? I thought Justin was awesome. His explosive play rate was super high because he was willing to stretch the field and he was accurate while doing so. I thought their protection schemes were actually competent this week with Bill Lazor calling plays compared to Matt Nagy. Oh man, he just missed Robert Woods over the middle. That would have been a huge play. And yeah, Justin looked great. He looked awesome. I'm very pleased. Very pleased. Oh, that's so unfortunate that he missed that. That would have been such a good ball. As for this week, I'm not going to say I expect more of the same, but I hope for more of the same because again, not all defenses are going to be like Detroit's for him. I'm hoping that again they stretch the field, heavy play action, like let his arm talent show and let him go vertical because he has the weapons to go vertical. Another bad ball from Stafford to Cup. There, something's off with them, man. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. At least he was under pressure for that one, so it's a little bit understandable. But I, I don't think I've seen them hit on a deep 7 together for like 2 or 3 weeks now. But they've thrown plenty of them. Oh my God, what an adjustment by Deshaun Jackson coming back to that ball. And he's still the fastest dude on the field. See how long it took them to get an angle on him? He's 34. And he got like an extra 30 yards on that because they just could not get an angle on him. Hell of an adjustment. Looks like Jamal Adams just totally lost it. He had no idea where that ball was. What a play. All right, down in the red zone now, 12-yard line, 1st and 10. Ball is going to be snapped right now. Toss play. Ooh, nice wiggle from Darrell Henderson there. They had a free fitter in the hole, and he just ran right by him. Great cut. All right, we might have ourselves a game here. All right, from the 5. Henderson again. Oh, man, just running through tacklers. See, those last 2 plays are a perfect example of you can draw up a perfect run fit on the board, but if your guys can't get off blocks and if your guys can't tackle, a perfect whiteboard drawing doesn't mean shit. I mean, look at that. Reed was the free fitter in the hole from the backside, just couldn't get him down. What can you do? Let's see. Brett, it's an emergency. Pick 3. Um, Justin Jefferson versus Detroit. DJ Moore versus Philly. Deontay Johnson versus Denver. Mike Williams versus Cleveland. Ooh, chat. I'm curious to get your opinion on this one. DJ Moore for sure. I kind of think Deontay Johnson's the odd man out here. I kind of think Deontay Johnson's the odd man out. Personal opinion. Yeah, I would say so. Thank you, Arch Bears, for $10. As a Bears fan, I'm really excited to see Jalen Johnson's jump. Can you explain just how good he's been? I think he's been a top 5 corner in the league this year. It's not just about generating PBUs and turnovers like people know him for, but like he's been extremely sticky in man coverage, and it's not just about getting targeted a bunch and being able to make plays on the ball. It's about not getting targeted. And that kind of effect that you can have on a defense as a lockdown corner where people don't even want to try you anymore. Burrow found out pretty quick when he tried it on Jalen, when he got picked off of like, oh, that guy can click and close faster than 99% of human beings on planet Earth. Maybe I shouldn't do that again. And they just stopped throwing curls at him because he's one of the dudes that can break on it that quick, even from not great leverage, and pick you off. So I think it's not just about the fact that he can make plays on the ball. It's about the fact that he makes quarterbacks scared of him because he can make plays on the ball, which then affects how an offense is designed, how an offense is executed, and how a quarterback plays. Like part of Darrelle Revis's value wasn't just the fact that he could break up passes. It was about the fact that quarterbacks didn't even attempt them, and it's a very valuable thing for a defense to have. Absolutely, it is. They used to have another one in Kyle Fuller, but I digress. Oh man, Stafford got lit up on that throw. Okay, once again, chat refreshing on me. Fuck, I think I just lost another super chat. All right, next stream I'm doing OBS. I'm tired of this stupid fucking StreamYard's chat bullshit making me miss super chats. Because I don't like taking people's hard-earned money and not getting to see what they said. That really bothers me when they don't show up on my screen. Again, if I missed any of your super chats and they're not showing up for me, please reach out, DM me, let me know. if I don't find them in chat, because I would love to at least answer them there. And I'm just going to do OBS from now on and figure this shit out because, like, oh, StreamYards bothers the hell out of me. Where do the Bengals wide receivers rank individually? Like relative to each other? Because I would say Jamar Chase, then Higgins, then Boyd, or like league wide. Because that's a very different conversation. Oh, huge TFL for the Rams. Is that Leonard Floyd again? All right, let me see the replay here that made it from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 14. I got to see what happened. Might have been Ashawn Robinson. They're going to show a replay. Damn it. League wide. I'm not ready to rank them league wide yet. Like I like Higgins. I like them a lot, but if I was trying to create a list off the top of my dome, I feel like I would make a very poor. Oh, he almost got Lockett again. That would have put me over right there. Uh-oh. Russ hit his hand on somebody's helmet. Uh-oh. He just broke a finger. Russell Wilson definitely just broke a finger. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Did you guys see the middle finger was flopping? He definitely just broke that finger. He's still in the game, but that shit was like wiggling. Maybe he dislocated it? He did something to it. Chat, did you guys see that too? I'm not crazy, right? You guys saw the wiggle? Oh, yeah, you could see it. That last joint. Yeah, that's not good. I sent about 4 super chats. All right, Kingdom Comes. I'm looking at the chat right now. I'm gonna have it refresh. Send them right now, and I'll answer them all. Oh God, that finger. Oh, oh, oh. Do we have to show that right now? Jesus Christ! Like ultra slow mo of this dude's finger just. I want to have words with the director in the truck on that one. Like, bro, did you need to do that? Go a commercial. Apparently, it's a tendon, like a tendon injury. I don't know. Either way, let's. I'm not feeling good about deep shots to lock it anymore. Wilson barely reacted to it. Just tape it up. I'm good. These guys are built different. Yeah, the magic of Toradol. Get him in the earthquake real quick, or in the locker room real quick. Sent a super chat earlier. Not sure if you saw it. Was asking if you think the Texans have a good GM and coach now in Caserio and Cully. I think Casario's doing the best that he can given the situation. And I think Cully is doing the best that he can given the situation. I don't necessarily think that either one of them are the problem. I think Jack Easterby and the McNair family are the problems. I think Cully's a good guy. And I think Caserio genuinely wants, to run. Oh, okay, they're working on Russ's finger here. Looks like they're looking at the second joint. I'm not a physical therapist or a doctor or anything like that. If any of you are, feel free to chime in on this. But yeah, I like Caserio and Cully. Like I think they're good people and they're trying, but given the management situation at their level and above their level, I do not foresee long-term success for this organization because as long as McNair and Jack Easterby are involved in the running of this football team, I just don't have faith in things getting better. So I think the players genuinely like Cully. I think they like playing for him. I think they want to play hard for him. And to his credit, they are playing hard for him. But the team's just not very talented right now. So what can you do? Tyrod getting hurt, I think, was a big blow to them because Mills is nowhere near as good as Tyrod. The defense plays hard. They're fast. They're aggressive. Like Lovie Smith has actually surprised me a little bit. But yeah, it's still a bleak situation that unfortunately I do not think is the coaches or the front office's fault necessarily. Hope that answers your question. But yeah, my problem with the Texans is not with the coach or the GM. It's with the ownership and Jack Easterby. They're the people I don't like. Robert Woods again. He's gonna get like 200 yards this game. I'm really happy that in my pregame fantasy Q&A chat, I was telling people to start Robert Woods because I was getting a million questions about Robert Woods, and every time somebody asked me about him, I said to start Woods. So I'm feeling decent about that right now. I also said to start Alex Collins though, so I'm not really 100%. You have no control of your fingertip until it heals. Well, that seems semi-important for a quarterback, don't you think? Just a little bit. Oh, there goes Henderson. What a run. Look at the wiggle on this dude. How's he just making people miss in a phone booth like that? Look at this run. Whoop. There's one, there's two, there's three, there's four. Then makes Jamal. That's five. Five dudes he made miss in like a 10-yard area. Hell of a run. He's shaped like a smoked sausage, but goddamn can that dude run the football. Great ball for the touchdown from Stafford. Is that Higbee? I think it is. Oh God, it's on Jamal Adams. Here comes Twitter. I can already hear it now. Making Blitz Boy trend at 10:30 at night. Yeah, he's inside leverage on a corner. Like, I don't know. Not a whole lot he can do there, like leverage wise. That's just a good route and a good ball against a coverage that is not designed to stop that route. So I'm trying to find those missed super chats. because there was a gentleman that had, and or later lady that had 4 of them. Oh, Jake Levins for $20. Appreciate that. My SC was lost to the void for repayment. Now you have to go answer 2 questions. One, super chat was lost to the void for repayment. Now you have to answer 2 questions. Absolutely, sir. One, I'm going to the KC Bills game. Thoughts on that game? 2, where's your DiCaprio Boodle jersey now that he's on the KC Active 53? It's in the mail. All-time name. All-time name. I love DiCaprio Boodle. I wish him the greatest success in the world. I hope that he plays 10 years just so that Madden is forced to continuously voice the last name Boodle every year for my creative players. All-time name. I am unfortunately not going to the KC Bills game this week because I'm going out to Cleveland next week, and it's hard for me to do back-to-back weeks of travel while still making film room episodes. Me doing Vegas and then Seattle back-to-back week 1 and week 2 like screwed up my production schedule so bad. So I'm not doing back-to-backs anymore. So unfortunately, I'm not going out to Kansas City. But I do want to go to a Chiefs game this season, but I might have to save it for them coming out to LA whenever that is. I think it's like November or something like that. As for my thoughts on that game, I think it's absolutely fascinating because we're getting a very good Bills defense up against a very good Chiefs offense. And when we look at the AFC Championship game and how the Kansas City offense attacked them, they attacked them in a different way than they had normally attacked teams last year. They kind of got away from their all or nothing deep passing tendencies and, really leaned into RPOs and quick game and everything like that and just kind of dinked and dunked them to death, which we weren't used to seeing. And they eviscerated them with that. And they kind of kept that theme going into this year. It's been a lot of RPOs, a lot of quick game. Mahomes has been an extraordinarily efficient passer because of that. It's not just deep bombs all the way now. It's very much a quick passing game and occasional deep shot offense. So, Buffalo getting a second look at that style of Kansas City offense. I'm really excited to see how they play against it because it killed them last time. But I think they're also a better defense this year than last year. So, it's kind of a good on good matchup. Great offense versus great defense. And we'll see how it goes. In terms of who I'm picking, probably Buffalo because they're a more balanced team overall. But I also would not be stunned if Kansas City wins by like 6. I wouldn't be stunned at all because they're just that explosive, It takes like 3 plays for them to score. Wish you had weekly content. Much respect. Yeah, I'm working on that. I'm working with an editor now. He's actually helping to edit that film room that I have coming out this week as I sit here and stream. Part of the reason why I'm able to stream is because he's editing part of the episode for me tonight. And then after this stream, I'm gonna go set up my lighting downstairs and record even more. And kind of expanding and getting help and editing help and all that kind of stuff is going to help me start to make more regular weekly content, which I look forward to. It's going to be fun, being able to do more than just an episode every week or two. And now like consistently being able to get the podcast out every Wednesday, get a film room out every like Friday or Saturday, like consistently every week, I think is going to be key for me. Oh, Russ got out of that somehow. Oh, no. Second layer got him. Aaron Donald, again, finished him off. Yeah, DK was open. He did get free. DK roasted Jalen Ramsey on a return route there. That's a route that a lot of people said he couldn't run. And he just beat arguably the best corner in the game on that route. Oh, block punt. You can punt it again? That's allowed? Is that a rule? Uh, if you get a punt block, can you repunt it? I didn't know you could do that. I mean, great block, by the way. I've become quite sick of Robert Woods. Spoken like a Seahawks fan. I don't have any audio, so Chad, I'm going to be relying on you to tell me what's going on with this flag. Jude for $5. Thank you, Jude. Huge fan of you and EJ's content. I'm a college student just starting to dad drink. Oh, that's a special kind of drinking. What's your recommendation for a starter drink on Sundays? I mean, if you're looking for a morning drink on Sundays, Irish coffee or Bloody Mary for sure. Those are the classic breakfast booze. Um, there's also a drink that I really like called a Black Irish, which is, I have the recipe. Hold on, let me pull it up on my phone. You use Mr. Black coffee liqueur. Here we go. It's 1/2 ounce Carpano Antica sweet vermouth. So half ounce of that. Half ounce Mr. Black cold brew liqueur. 2 ounces of Redbreast 12 or any pot still Irish whiskey will work. And then 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. You stir over ice and then strain into a coupe glass. Garnish with a disc of orange. So it's a coffee. It's a coffee drink. There's coffee flavor to it, so it feels like a breakfast drink. It's a little bit more. What's the word? Uppity than an Irish coffee or something like that. It's more cocktaily than that, but it's really really good. Or depending on what part of the country you're in, you just start crushing natties at like 9 a.m. like a true American. So what was the ruling on that punt? I truly don't know the rule about a double punt. Another Woods reception. Oh God. Oh man. Still trying to find the person who said they had 4 missed super chats. I'm still trying to find them. I might have to resort to doing that one in DMs or like a self-flagellation email for myself. Fucking StreamYards, I swear to God. Oh my God, we have a Cooper Cup reception. They do exist. What do you know? Big time Browns for $5. Thank you, sir. Messed up sending earlier. Anyways, I could buy you a beer while you're in Cleveland. You pick the brewery and the time. Consider it a welcome to Cleveland. Well, I'm staying down. I'm assuming it's the only river in town. There's like a river like just west of downtown. That kind of area. I think it starts with an A. It's like just like 10 minutes west of the stadium by walking. I'm staying kind of over there. I think there's some breweries on the water. Or if you're going to the game, again, you don't need to buy me a beer. We'll just go get a beer like halftime or something like that. Talk football if you're going to the game or something like that. Because I think I'm going to the game alone. My buddy Drew from Rockpile Report is up in Buffalo. Buffalo's like 2 hours away. He might come down with me, but worst case, if you guys are at the game in Cleveland, just let me know. And we'll say hi, stop by, chit chat a little bit. All right, 2nd and 2 for the Rams here. Yeah. Oh man, that was going nowhere. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 3. Oh, look at Blitz Boy. Blitz Boy with the TFL. Wait, Jude, did I not just get your super chat a minute ago? Or did you have another super chat? Let me know if there was a second one that I missed. So that is legal. What do you know? What do you know? What a crazy rule. A rules guy said you can't punt it twice. Okay, there's our answer. There's our answer. Wait, just said no foul. So it is legal. Okay. Glad we solved that mystery, team. Saying the refs fucked up the call, a recent rule change. Oh. Intrigue. There's layers to this. All right. I feel like that's going to be a Google search for me later tonight of what the hell's going on there. He's breaking out the rule. Wow. Okay. So I missed a whole saga with the audio off, apparently. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. So ball didn't cross the line of scrimmage. Because it didn't, you can double punt. Oh, okay. It says a new rule against double kicks, but the refs want to give Seattle a chance. What a weird sequence. I don't even know how to react to that. Best way for the Packers to fill Jair's void if he's out long term. Well, I would have said trading for Stephon Gilmore, but that's off the table. I can't really think of any other high-ish quality corners that are going to be on the market on the trade block. Oof. God, what can you do? Who's going to be available? Who might be available? On 3rd and 3 for the Rams. I'll do this one first. Stafford going deep. Oh, almost had Deshaun Jackson. Almost. Only had one hand free. Let's see. Corners that might potentially be on the trade market. So it's going to be a team that wants to do a financial move for the future. I can't think of any, honestly. I think they might just have to ride it out, which is a terrifying prospect for them because that means Kevin King is going to be on the field a lot. And that's not good for them. That's really not good for them. Hawks had 15 yards of offense this half. Rams had 200. I'll do you one better. In the first 23 minutes of the Niners game, they had negative yardage. That's for whatever reason, this Hawks offense is incredibly streaky. They go through very long stretches of doing absolutely nothing. Come through the Mooney lot before the game in Cleveland. Okay. Is that where people tailgate? I'll go anywhere where there's beer and barbecue. I need Cup to get a TD, so keep talking up Woods. Weaponizing the curse, are you? Don't Cuyahoga River. That's what I was thinking of. Still liable to catch. Oh, is there a lot of oil in there? Yeah, I see people kayaking in it. I don't see people swimming in it. Tells me all I need to know. Brett, how do you watch film since All 22 is still not back on Game Pass? So the best option you probably have is getting a VPN and doing European Game Pass. Because the American Game Pass is still fucked up. But you have to buy European Game Pass separately. So it's a whole thing. It's annoying. It's very annoying. Ooh, that might have been PI on Ramsey. He had a huge tug on that arm. I think they called it. Yeah. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Assuming. Wait, Geno Smith is in. Oh, Russ is really hurt then, huh? Oh shit. If Geno Smith is in the game, that means Russ really can't throw. Shit. Well, there goes my ticket because I had the over on 300 yards. Oh man. Well, I'm sunk, boys. I'm sunk. Man, if the only one I miss is Wilson over, I'm gonna be so mad. If you can come to Cincy in 2023, you'll be 21 then. I'll probably be in Cincy at some point in the next few years. I almost went this year for the Thursday night game against Jacksonville, but COVID had other plans. But yeah, I'll probably be coming out to Cincy at some point, I would imagine. Because the dream scenario for me is if there's a Monday game or a Sunday game and a Monday game in Cleveland and in Cincy, and I can just do both, or a Thursday and a Sunday game and I could do both. That's the dream scenario for me. Let Gino cook. Oh, look at Geno Smith move there. He still got it. The manifestation of West Virginian rage. Advice for international dude on where the best place to watch football is. Cheers to sloshed bread on the podcast, though. Keep up the good work. International Game Pass has live games. Again, you have to pay for it, but that's where I go to watch live games because I don't have cable and I see no need to have cable. So I just use VPN and European Game Pass. I know there's if you're international, Oh man, they like fully wrapped up that finger, huh? Man, he is really hurt. I think Canada has like its own plan. I think England has its own thing as well, like individually through Sky Sports. But I just use Game Pass. Matthew Parker for $5. Where do you rank Jacoby Myers right now? I think he's a really underrated receiver. For me, he's a top 50 receiver. Let's see, top 50. He would probably end up somewhere in the top 50 for me as well. I think he's very sure-handed. Um, I think he's really smart. I think he's very good at reading coverages and knowing how to adjust his routes based on those coverages, which is why he's successful in that system because they do that every single play. Not exceptional vertical speed, not exceptional physicality, but he's smart. He's tough. He has good hands. I think he's like a solid two-ish to three, like possession receiver type. Um, Very reliable. And I think there would be a lot of teams that would love to have that kind of guy. But he's a very solid receiver. Again, not like dynamic. He's never going to be a true number one, but he's solid. Geno Smith's moving this offense, boys and girls. Hitting Disley again. All right. If Seahawks score here, we got a game. If they don't score here, I think it's a wrap. All right. They're in 3x2 empty. 1st and 10 from the 23. Ooh. Oh, what a ball. Geno's slinging it. Touchdown DK. Look at Geno Smith go. Good for him. Big night for DK, too. What's he at now? Let's see here. No, more. So it'd be like what, 4 for 80 something and 2 touchdowns? Big time. Big time. How do I get back to my stream? Oh, there we go. Bam. Best tailgating is in Mooney. Okay. I will head there then when I'm at the game. And I will find my way to Mooney. Brett, can you make a video about the Ravens run game working, asking for a friend? Is your friend a Steelers fan? Or any AFC North fan at all? How did they manage to mess up Game Pass so bad? Greed. One word, greed. In their constant quest to mask monetization in so-called improvements. Greed. Bryden Lawson for $10. Chase, Jones Jr., Odell, Waddle, Fournette. Choose 2 and a flex. All right, chat, help me out on this one. Jamar Chase. Do I want Marvin Jones, Odell, Waddle, Fournette? Oh, man, that's tough. Because I like Marvin Jones against this Titans secondary. So I feel like Chase and Marvin. But then who do I want at flex? I don't think I want Odell against the Chargers. They're a very stingy secondary. I don't know if I want Waddle, but Fournette's so streaky as well. Between Waddle and Fournette, I think. Ah, man. And like they're playing against each other too. So it's like I feel like no matter what, I'm gonna be wrong. I'm gonna go Waddle just because I think Miami's gonna have to throw a lot because who in their right mind is gonna run against Tampa? And if they're throwing a lot, that means that Waddle could potentially be getting a lot of targets. So let's go Jamar Chase, Marvin Jones, Jalen Waddle. Final answer. What's a good VPN? I use Nord personally. I've never had any problems with it. I like Nord a lot. Hashtag not sponsored. What will it take for the Seahawks to play a normal game? Is it Pete, Russ, or is it just ingrained into the team at this point? This is Seattle culture. Seattle's not a normal town. They're not allowed to have a normal football team. You know this. If Seattle was a normal city, it wouldn't be right. So they're not allowed to have a quote unquote safe, boring football team. Every single game needs to make no goddamn sense. That's their brand. And they're never going to run out of plot lines because just when you think it gets stale, the quarterback dislocates his finger and they bring in the once highly drafted, highly touted but failed second round pick Geno Smith on the redemption tour. Comeback story of the decade. Seattle football, baby. Robert Woods again. I'm so pissed that it didn't let me bet the over on Woods. You have no idea. So he was at 11 for 126 before that. So he's probably at like 12 for a buck 50. What an insane game for Robert Woods. And there's the deep ball to Cooper Kupp. All right, Stafford's rolling now. Just nobody picked him up at all. Just what were they in? 3? Were they in 3 and Brooks just didn't pick up number 3 as the 3 up his 3? Like that could have been 6 if he put it out in front of him. Here comes Sony Michel for nothing. They played a normal game against the Colts. That's true, but the Colts are incapable of playing entertaining football games. They're like the bizarro Seattle. Every single Colts game like just feels like a normal average 10 a.m. Sunday football game that you have on in the background while you're like making an egg scramble for breakfast. And you look up and you're like, "Oh, it's 24-17 again." Like every Colts game feels exactly the same. Cooper Kupp got him down to the 2. All of a sudden, Kupp's heating up. Stafford's dealing, man. If Brady, Manning, Rodgers, and Breeze all had one ring, how would they be ranked in GOAT talks? There's Michelle just capped it off. They keep all their stats and other accolades. I think Brady would still be seen as the GOAT. Yeah, probably still be seen as the GOAT. Well, would he be? because like Rings is well, I guess he has all the other yards now too because he just played forever. Yeah, I would still probably put Brady as the GOAT. But we also have to assume that Joe Montana only gets to have one ring too, right? Like, let's just say that every quarterback in existence was capped at one ring. Like, who would be seen as the GOAT? Because if we're only talking about modern quarterbacks getting capped at one ring, then Joe Montana would be seen as the GOAT because he has four, or right, four. You know, but I would still probably put Brady one, and then it's like a toss up between Peyton and Rodgers for two. Like, even though, well, I don't know, Breeze does have a shitload of other records that Rodgers and Manning might never get. That's a good question. But I think like rings just like define so much about them, you know? Like legacies are like that's a good illustration of how like legacies are made in the playoffs, you know? Like we look at Breeze very differently because of, you know, the lack of MVPs and like only getting one ring. We look at him very differently compared to Brady, even though like Brady just passed Breeze's record like last week. So it's interesting question. Joey for $5. You probably already answered this coming in late, but your thoughts on Jalen Smith to the Packers? I don't think he would solve the issues. I do not think that he would solve their issues at all. Like he's not a Fred Warner. He's not a like he's not even a Jeremiah Wusu-Koramoah, who's like 4 games into his career, and I think is playing better than Jalen Smith. You know, like I don't think that Jalen Smith is like the dynamic answer at linebacker that's gonna go fix the Packers defense. He's just not. So it's like they'll bring him in like because he might be a better option than what they have. And you know, at worst he's good depth, but he's not the kind of linebacker that's going to come in there and save a defense. He hasn't been that guy in a long time. Ayuk, Chuba, Kirk, or Ruggs for my flex. Ooh, that's a really good one. I kind of like the idea of Kirk, but I also kind of like the idea of Ruggs. Because like the Ayuk thing, it totally depends on who's starting. You know, it's like if Trey Lance is starting, I would give Ayuk a shot, but let's just assume that there's going to be some Kyle Shanahan fuckery there, and I'll go Ruggs. I'll go Ruggs because he's the kind of guy where it's like you can make or break your day in one play with him. You know. Wait, he signed with the Packers? When did that happen? Like during the stream? Is Jalen Smith like officially a Packer? Oh, that was like this morning. Oh, I totally missed that. I was recording all day, so I totally missed that. Yeah, I mean, my answer stands though. Like, I don't think he'll like save their defense. Like, I just get, I meet that with a okay. 5 MVPs is hard to catch unless you have 7 rings. Exactly. Exactly. Because in the end, it's a team sport. And team victories matter more than individual accolades. Shanahan said Ayuk's lack of production wasn't because of lack of effort, which makes no sense. If you speak Shanahanese, it makes sense. That's his way of saying like, yeah, he got in there, he blocked, we called some plays that were designed to get him the ball if we had opportunities to, but either based on like coverage called or a lapse in protection, like it just didn't happen for one reason or other, or like Jimmy just like didn't see it or something. Like there's a lot of factors that go into a receiver catching the ball. And what this tells me from Kyle is that Kyle says that his numbers aren't necessarily his fault. And oh god, another slow mo replay on that finger is that Kyle says it's not necessarily his fault, and he still believes in him as a player. But whether that's going to translate to fantasy production for us, I I don't understand the 49ers any better than some of you guys, to be honest. They fucking infuriate me. All right, here we go. First and 15 for the Hawks. 5 minutes left. 9-point game. So they need to score here, get a stop, score again. If they had Russ, I'd say they had a pretty decent chance because that's a very normal, like their version of normal is down 9 with 5 minutes left and still winning. But with Geno Smith, it's a little bit different. Somebody said it was Geno Smith's first incompletion since 2017. They're not wrong. Jared, are you my wife? $11 and 0. See, that's what I've been saying too, Tom. Is that once he got that elbow injury, it was over. Like he's just not been the same since that. He has not been the same since that elbow injury. Here we go. 3rd and 10. Another DK catch. Well, these wide receivers are definitely pulling their weight tonight, guys. God, look at that cut. He moves so much quicker now than even when he was coming out of Ole Miss. Like he's just so much smoother. My guy's been doing yoga for sure. Talked about the JFM extension. John Franklin Myers? JFM? Did he get extended today? Again, let's see. All right, Ian Rappaport an hour ago. So this happened during the game. 4-year, $55 million deal for John Franklin Myers. It includes $30.2 million in guarantees. That's awesome. He's a great player. That's really cool. So what? That's like less than 15 million a year too. That's like 14 million, I think. Like maybe even less than that. That's a great deal. Like in terms of pass rush productivity, he was one of the most efficient interior rushers in the entire league last year. And he's kind of continued that this year, being extraordinarily efficient as an interior rusher. That's a really good deal for them. To get him for like less than 15 million a year when you got other dudes making 23 it's like 20 to 23 million for top rated defensive linemen these days, and he's getting 70% of that. Hell of a signing by the Jets. That's a great deal for them, and also good for John Franklin Myers too, who was with the Rams for like 2 years and then they cut him loose. So for him to find success at his second destination and get generational wealth for him and his family. That's pretty cool. Big play to Alex Collins. Big screen for him. By the way, I will not be doing this stream next week, guys, because I'm going to be on a plane to Cleveland. So preemptively, that's why this won't be happening next week. But I think the week after that, I'll be doing this stream again for TNF. Because I don't think I land in Cleveland till like 11 o'clock at night or something like that. It's like super late. Who got hurt? I didn't see it. I think it was a Ram, right? When are you joining the Mannings for Monday Night Football? I think I have the forehead for it, right? I think my forehead to face ratio is large enough. I'd fit right in. Darius Williams. Oh man, that's a rough injury for the Rams too. They're thin enough as it is. So let's see. That'll put Robert Rochelle as their corner now filling in if 31's coming into the game, I think. The rookie. I'd attack Rochelle with DK immediately. Did you expect Matt Stafford to be this good with the Rams? Yeah. Yeah. Exceptionally talented quarterback with very competent coaching staff equals success. Not to mention he's got really good skill position players and his offensive line's pretty good too. So it's not really surprising to me that it's worked. Bryden Lawson again for $10. Thank you, sir. I offered this trade earlier, got declined, but I think it's close. PPR league. I offered Chase and Harris from the Pats for Lockett. Good trade or nah? I'm actually surprised he turned that down. I'm actually actually surprised he turned that down. I mean, it would be a good trade for you. I think it's a very even trade. I tend to like it though when I'm taking a good player and a serviceable player and then trading them for a very, very good player. Like Lockett is one of the more perennially underrated receivers in the league, always highly productive. Fantasy wise, like I can throw him into a lineup and feel comfortable with it every single week. And I like having those kind of reliable guys. So giving up a 2-for-1 in that sense, I've always liked doing that. But I mean, now with Russ hurt, that does change things. So maybe it was kind of a blessing in disguise for you, because now I might actually want to have. Oh yeah, see, they went after Rochelle with Lockett in the end zone. That got broken up. Wasn't a great ball. But now, if Russ is going to miss some time or just potentially not be as effective of a deep ball receiver, I would actually favor the Chase and Harris side of things. So you might have actually lucked out. Can't believe how much hype Arch Manning has. Oh, you mean the very large, highly athletic, golden armed, super smart wonder kid who comes from the greatest lineage of football players known to mankind? That kid, we can't believe how much hype he's getting. He's the most recruited high school quarterback in history. Like, we thought there was high school hype for Trevor Lawrence. coming out of Georgia and Justin, like that kind of class. Like we thought there was hype for those kids. Like Arch Manning's been hype. He's been getting recruited since he was like 10. I swear to God, he's going to be the most recruited high school player in the history of the country. Oh, Gino. Incomplete. So that's going to bring up 4th and 10. Last gasp here for the Seahawks. It's only 8 o'clock, Brett. What are you doing? There's no yawning in this dojo. Oh, Moritz. 5 a.m. and still watching a Thursday night football game. You salute to you, man. It takes dedication to stay up till 5 a.m. to watch this game of all games. Where would you go if you're Arch? I would consider Oklahoma, Bama, Ole Miss. I'm just thinking of coaching staffs that can develop him into an NFL quarterback. I'm not sure if I would consider Clemson because Clemson's ability to recruit and develop offensive line, I think, has been very questionable. And I would want to go somewhere that I think can protect me, like not just recruit guys that can protect me, but can actually like coach them up to protect me, which is Bama, OU, and I think Ole Miss. And I like Lane Kiffin's offense. I think he would thrive in that offense. Georgia is another one I would absolutely consider because they recruit really well and can surround him with talent. I don't think I would consider any of the Pac schools. I don't think he fits any of the Big Ten schools. So Texas maybe. I would consider Texas for him, possibly. Like I think Sark could really develop him very well, and Texas can recruit too. So that's probably like a short list, like OU, Texas, Ole Miss, Bama, Georgia. I would say is like the short list. But after that, probably not much. Like I get Clemson's like considered like QBU or whatever, but because they had a string of pretty big recruits that went there. Deshaun went there, Trevor went there. DJ Uiagalelei went there. But I don't know. I get bad vibes about Clemson right now. I don't know. Arch is very, very good, but that's a lot for a young kid. I agree. It's immense pressure, but I also think that he's in the perfect family that can help him deal with that pressure because everybody in his family's been under pressure. Like Peyton was under pressure as a highly recruited kid. Eli was highly recruited. Like their grandfather played in the league. His uncles played in the league. If there's any family environment ever that could get this kid ready to handle a spotlight at a very young age, it's the Manning family. At 16, he's 6'4", 215, and can turn a ball in his hand so it looks cool. Oh, man. North Dakota State. I mean, low-key, he actually probably would be coached pretty well at North Dakota State. They have a really good staff, but obviously, talent level, he doesn't need to go there. But unironically, yes, you're not wrong. How about Big Ten? I don't know. I don't get get the sense that he fits Ohio State or Michigan or Wisconsin or Iowa. I don't like. I, I don't know. I don't think he like. What's the word? What do the kids say these days? Vibe check? I don't think it passes the vibe check. I think he's more of a Southern guy, SEC guy. You know, and OU and Texas are going to be SEC schools soon anyway, so that counts. OSU already has Quinn Ewers already. I mean, you're not wrong, and he could turn out to be pretty good, but I don't. If Arch Manning wanted to go to Ohio State, they would not say no. They would not say no at all. Like, do you know the recruiting power to other recruits of saying like, "Hey, do you want to go play with Peyton and Eli Manning's nephew, the most highly recruited quarterback in the history of ever?" Like every four-star receiver within 3,000 miles would say yes. They would not turn down. Like, I don't care how good Ewers is. They would not turn down Arch Manning if he wanted to go there. They would say, bye, Quinn. Go to the portal if you want to. Arkansas. I mean, maybe. Maybe. You never know. All right, 3rd and 8 here for the Rams. Game on the line. Oh, no. Did they just delay a game? No. Did they just delay a game? No way. Oh, no. Okay. They called timeout. Jesus. All right. 3rd and 8 here. 2:22 on the clock. Seahawks have no timeouts left. If they convert here, this game's basically over. I can only imagine how loud that stadium is right now. Oh, they're going empty. 3x2 empty. Man, are they? Oh my God, are they blitzing right now? Are they bringing 6? No, they just brought 4. Oh, ball batted down. Oh shit, we got a game. We got a game. Oh no. Who got that? Is that Collier? No, Dunlap. With his gigantic fucking Groot arms that he's got. Oh man. Oh no, Trey. He had Rams at 6.5. Oh no. Okay, so what you need is you either need a pick 6 or you need them to score a touchdown and then miss the extra point, go to OT, and they get a walk-off touchdown with an extra point. Oh man. All right, Gino's an empty. Gotta love the Western divisions. They're just obnoxiously crazy all the time. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Snap is right now. Are they running 4 verts on 1st and 10 just because they can? Oh shit, he got picked. Oh God. Oh no. I think Lockett just tripped. Is that what happened? I think it is. Oh no. That's awful. Even when the Seahawks lose, they can't lose normal. Good lord. What a weird game. Oh man, just turf monster got him. I don't even think 4 pushed him over. He just straight up turf monstered. Did you and EJ choose to name that episode about the NFC West because of tonight's game, or was that just coincidence? I mean, we knew that this game was going to be batshit one way or another. It's inevitable. It's the NFC West. Autumn for $5. Thank you. Last chat because money, of course. Where would you rank Jamar? Top 20, top 10? Have you ever tried an aviation? Aviations are very good. They're very, very good. Well, especially if you like gin. Um, I'm in first by 90 and a best. Holy shit. That's actually okay. So you're crushing whoever you're in that league with by a lot. So, first of all, well done for that. Aviations are really good. Um, like creme de violet, I think is an okay ingredient. I mean, like they're not like my favorite gin drink because I'm kind of like whatever on creme de violet. But overall, like yeah, like it's a well crafted, balanced cocktail. I would say so. It does. I tend to make mine with a little bit of simple syrup in it though, just to sweeten it up a little bit. Because I think sometimes when people make aviations, it needs to be sweetened a little bit, but just personal preference. As for Jamar, top 20 receiver. So you got, let's see, the easy ones, Hopkins, Diggs, Adams, and, no particular order. DK, Lockett. I would say Woods is top 20. So that's 6. I would say, who else is in the NFC North? Allen Robinson is up there. Oh, obviously, Justin Jefferson, CD, Amari. So that's 10. Who else? McLaurin is up there. That's 11. I would still say AB is a top 20 receiver. I would say Godwin's a top 20 receiver. So that's 13. Michael Thomas, when healthy, is a top 20 receiver. DJ Moore. So that's 15. Who else is in that damn division? So in the Diggs. See AFC South. Julio and AJ Brown are both top 20 receivers. I think you could argue Pittman. Tyreek, obviously. Keenan Allen. So I would say he's like just outside the top 20 because I think I already just named 20 right there. So I'd say he's probably like just outside the top 20. But again, he's only played 4 games. Because like much of that grade in my mind is coming off of what I knew him to be at LSU, which was an absolute animal. But I think by the end of this season, you could probably look at him and say like, yeah, he could very easily be in the top 20. For now, I would leave him out just because there's so many good receivers, but not by much. Like I think of like, how many How many guys would I rather have at X one-on-one on an island with a corner that I trust to go beat them vertically? And there's probably not that many receivers that I think can do that specific thing better than him. So yeah, by the end of this year, could very easily be top 20. Would not be surprised. But for now, again, only 4 games into his career, I'd probably leave him out. I did say DK. I actually said both the Seattle guys, DK and Lockett, I would say. I didn't even say Thielen. Um, I didn't say Cortland Sutton. I don't think I said Deontay Johnson. Like, I think Deontay Johnson's a little bit more proven at this point. Yeah, like there's a shitload of dudes. A shitload of dudes. It's a lot of great receivers in the league. Hollywood top 20? I wouldn't say so. I think it's a little bit one dimensional. 30 top 20 receivers. Yeah, it basically is. There's like 30 guys that you could argue for it, you know? Like, and I mean, God, if we throw tight ends in there, like I would consider Travis Kelsey a top 10 receiver. Like, if we just take the position out of it. Wait a minute. Rams kicked a field goal. Trey's good. He hit on 6.5. Son of a bitch. Let's fucking go, bud. We're alive. We're alive. Look at you. Look at us. Look how far we've come in 5 minutes. I forgot about Debo too. Yeah, Debo's really fucking good. Tommy for $5. Do you think that there will be any more big moves similar to Gilmore and Henderson before the deadline, like Dalton to Pittsburgh? Um, I mean, either Dalton or Jimmy getting traded like would not shock me. In terms of like, do I think there is going to be a big move? Yeah, probably. I just don't know what that big move is going to be. I think it'll just come out of absolute nowhere. But, you know, Dalton to Pittsburgh would be interesting if they just want to save the season. Wouldn't be a bad idea for Pittsburgh to do that. All right, 18 seconds left till Trey hits on his bet. We're rooting for you, bud. I'm living vicariously through you right now. Let's fucking go. False start. Good. Good for Trey. Good for Trey. Uh, Donovan for $5. Has Chris Olave solidified himself as a first round pick? Absolutely. Yeah, Chris Olave is that dude. I love Chris Olave. He reminds me a lot of Devontae Smith, like skill set wise, but he is bigger than Devontae Smith. So I think there's going to be less for people to nitpick. But Chris Olave is really, really good. Good. Keep running, Gino. Bleed clock. Trey's got a mortgage to pay and 2 kids to feed. Let's go. He needs the money more than you. Trey wakes up every morning to drive 3 hours to his factory job in Hoboken. Do not take this dream from him. Good. Check it down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Well fucking done, Trey. Well fucking done. Go buy yourself a steak dinner. Lamar wishes he was Chino. Oh, what a fucking cover, though. Man, I thought he was dead to rights. I thought he was so dead. That's crazy. Oh, man. Congratulations, Trey. What was your bet, by the way? I'm like genuinely curious. I hope it was something crazy. Like, I hope you're fucking leveraged up to the gills and you put your entire life on a Thursday night football 6.5 point spread. I genuinely hope it's something like that degenerate, because that would just be amazing. IK for $5. Should I start Trey Sermon or Leonard Fournette in fantasy? Sermon has been pretty disappointing so far. If Trey Lance is starting, you're going to want to start Sermon for sure. But again, just monitor the Trey Lance situation, because if Lance is on the field, that's going to create such a dynamic run game for them. And I think Sermon will benefit from that. Can't wait for the B-ass for Arch season. Oh, shit. It's only 2 years away. Or no, 5 years away. Time flies. I started doing this channel full time 5 years ago. After the 2016 NFL season, my last day at NFL Network was the day before the Falcons Patriots Super Bowl, which was February 2017. So 18, 19, 20, 20. So we are at the end of this year, at this year's Super Bowl, that will be 5 years of me being on this channel, like full time. So time flies, man. Gino had 6.5 on the Rams. Oh, man. Do you guys, I don't know, how many people in here like actually bet on games? I'm genuinely curious. Because I don't bet on every game. Like, I submit picks for every game, but I don't bet on every game. I usually only bet if I feel like really confident. And I typically do parlays because I'm a degenerate. Yeah, way too much. Yeah, if you're betting on a week 5 Thursday game in the NFC West, no less. Like, the last thing I'm ever going to bet on is a Seattle primetime game. That's the last thing I'm ever going to bet on. Oh, man. Okay, well, I think it's about time for me to wrap this up, because I have to go film the rest of part 2 of that Panthers run game film room. It's going to be coming out on Saturday. I got to do all my on-camera portion and everything like that. So you guys are going to see that very soon. The short version is Panthers done fucked up. And I'll explain more in that film room. So thank you, everybody, for watching TNF and kind of hanging out with me. I'm going to do this again in a couple weeks, because next Thursday I'm going to be on a flight to Cleveland. And then the Thursday after that, we'll be back doing another TNF watch along. Hopefully one day I'll be able to actually show the game on this, but apparently I need to, like, have that be legal or whatever. So I will see you guys in a couple days with that film room episode. And until then, thank you, everybody, again for watching. If I missed your super chat, please DM me so I can respond and have a conversation and have you guys get your money's worth, because I don't like that StreamYards fucking deletes them. So again, please DM me. Let me know what I missed. I will chat and answer any questions that you guys have if I miss your super chats. My apologies for that. My apologies for StreamYards. On the next stream, I'll do it on OBS so it won't fucking do that anymore because I hate that. So I'll see you guys in a couple days, and until then, later.